How's it going, everyone? Hope you're doing well. It's me, it's Saul. I hope that doesn't become like a catchphrase. Welcome to tonight's one shot. This is not a Tiny Tables recording. It is a recording of our Night at the Museum one shot, which does take place canonically within the story of Monster of the Week Season 1. Where that might lie, who knows? But it's a nice little one-off story that is GM'd by our very own Mars. They did a great job, and we knew that they would really love this story because dinosaurs and fossils and all that really rad stuff. So we're very happy to be able to share it with y'all. You're going to be able to see characters like Anne and Chuck, Alex, Teddy. Sir Bertilac is there, and then it's the introduction of Clark, who is Dez's character. So it's a really fun story. We hope that you enjoy it. If you haven't already, please follow us on social media at TurnTablesRPG. Yeah. Also, just a quick shout out to the Return to OE campaign. If you haven't checked that out, or feel free to send it to your friends. But it's a 12 episode series that's a sci-fi opera-esque. It's run on the Uncharted Worlds game, which runs on the Powered by the Apocalypse system, and it is fantastic. The lore, the players, the GM, like, they just knocked it out of the park, and it's really easy to get into, and it's really easy to follow along. And the characters are all fantastic, and the storytelling is fantastic, and I can't sing its praises enough. So we hope that you go check it out. It's on our YouTube page, along with all the VODs for all the one-shots, all our Tiny Tables one-shots, if you want to show your friends those, or this specific Night at the Museum one-shot. It's a lot of fun, and we hope that you enjoy it. Once again, thank you for supporting us. As we go into development for season 2. As an update of that, we are in character creation now, and then hand in hand, that's going to build the narrative of season 2 and where we're going to start off. What I can tell you that it does take place after the events of season 1, but it's not inherently tied. So if you don't want to watch the 32 episodes of season 1, totally understandable. That's totally okay. The story that we are building for season 2 will not tie as inherently to the story of season 1 as one may think. But we're very excited. We're setting up the setting. We're setting up what that looks like, how the characters are going to come together, how they know each other. All the different playbooks that everyone's chosen they're just chef's kiss. Fantastic. I'm very excited to share it with you all. Yeah, and then after this, we're going to be kind of setting up character art and the overlays and the intros and all that more technical stuff, and hopefully we're looking at early 2022 as a start date. So you heard it here first. But yes, thank you so much for your support and for continuing to be interested in our stories and in our stream. We will say next week is going to be our winter one shot from this time last year, so a little bit closer to the deeper part of the season. Yeah, happy holidays to everyone, and we hope that you're doing well. Remember to unclench your jaws, get up, get a drink of water, and enjoy our Night at the Museum one shot. Catch you later.
Definitely need the eyes.
That's definitely
Good times.
We're alive now.
I would really think to myself,
I like to.
I guess if Light was standing in front of me and he was writing my name down in the death note, I feel like I wouldn't have enough time to react. I feel like because I guess it works with short like Chris Allard. I feel like is a pretty quick thing.
Doesn't it have to be your full name?
Yeah,
does it have to be my full name?
Your full name?
I think.
Or does the note recognize middle or full names?
It has to be your full name, because I think
the note's gonna be mad if he doesn't put Christopher.
I think
the notebook is gonna be like, "Hey, fuck
has
you,"
your face in mind,
and it's gonna eat your.
Oh yeah, I don't think it needs middle names. I think it just needs your first and last name. It's the question of if he wrote I'm known by most people as Chris, but if he doesn't put Christopher down, is the book gonna get mad at him?
Some call me Tim.
the Space Cowboy. Logistically, no, you'll be fine. He just needs your first and last name and then the ability to picture your face, I think.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
yeah,
hello
Yeah.
everyone. I
Yeah.
believe we're live.
Hello,
Oh.
welcome to our Death Note
Hello.
podcast.
Listen to our
Yes.
podcast. Don't mind any of this stuff around us. This has nothing to do with the discussion tonight.
very
Yeah.
much
What do you think
I was-
the
I was
Robin
gonna make a
Williams
joke
played
about-
Teddy Roosevelt would do with the Death Note?
Oh.
So, it's a
Probably
Friday
just love it.
night, but we appreciate you coming by. We are Turntables RPG, and this is our Night at the Museum one shot. Does anyone have any announcements? I have some, but I'm just trying to be courteous and ask other people if they would like to say something.
I don't.
Lovely. Okay.
Cool.
So, announcements.
Yo, man.
If you haven't already, please follow us on social media at Turntables RPG on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Our newest VOD, episode 24, Silence, is on YouTube now. Definitely check it out. It's a really good one. We are very excited to say that next Friday as well, we're going to have some additional content in the form of our Tiny Tables program playing Sexy Battle Wizards. And that's going to be a lot of fun too. I believe Masha that way. Yeah,
You'll get it.
I'm not used to being on this side of the
Somewhere.
overlay. Yeah, we'll be running it.
I like
And
everyone
then-
pointing at me.
We'll do it
I
more.
like attention.
We'll try. Let's make a pact now and say that like whenever we all need Anne inevitably for something, we all have to point to Masha in order.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we say like Anne, help us. And then
There is a monster of the week move that you can take that like allows you to basically like sense when something bad is gonna happen, and I feel like
Spidey
that
sense?
could be the way that we do it with everybody just like points. I'm done.
Okay.
It's been a long day for some
you're
reason.
good.
Understandable. Moving forward, we're also going to continue with new content for the month of May as well, as we continue to fulfill all the amazing milestones that we managed to reach during our charity month of March with the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So thank you so much again for all the help, and we hope that you enjoy all the content that we have coming up. The amazing artwork that you see on our overlay that was done by our amazing The Furf, Mr. Christopher.
Oh.
Yeah, again, we're all fixing our fingers. The amazing art that you see, the character art, is by Patrick Costa, PC Inc. on Instagram and Twitter. Please go check him out and like his posts and follow him. He does amazing work. Commission him or do one of his giveaways, because like he's just getting better and better and better with his art, and it's just fantastic. Yeah, I think that. Oh yeah, we have a Patreon and Twitch Prime. Yeah, if you want to subscribe, do it. Otherwise, just keep hanging out for free. That's totally cool too. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that's all the announcements. Yes.
We have a Discord. I'm putting the link in the
Yes.
chat.
Thank you.
Join
Mars.
our Discord for cool memes and stuff.
Dope, dope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Turn-
we are Turntables RPG, an experimental role playing game stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that too,
You know,
yeah.
I was about to be like,
that one's supposed to go. We'll
we're-
fix it in post. I'll put it
Yeah.
in the beginning. Yeah. But yeah, I'll hand it off to Mars.
Be a weird edit.
Yep.
Post.
You are correct.
Yep. Well, so our mystery takes place a couple of months ago. You have all just finished hunting down and saving your good friend Eric, the Bigfoot, and you now know that there's a bunch of magicians in rabbit masks, and Teddy's got 2 arms. Everyone's giving him high fives and like shaking his hands and all that. But our 4 normal cast, there are 4 regular characters because Cassie's not here yet, are on the train, and you get a call from Lyft, who has a somewhat of a mystery to solve for you, or for you to solve. They describe that it's not that much of a mystery, but they notice that what am I trying to say? They need your help with some things. So you head over to the city of Chicago, and while you all are traveling, there is it's about the middle of the night, and a tired Egyptologist has decided that maybe it's time to go home. He's done enough studying of the mummies tonight, and he walks out through the behind the scenes doors, and in the main hall of the museum, he sees the large dinosaur, whose name is Maximo, and he's a titanosaur. It's not actually a real fossil, but it's a cast of one. Start to move, and he rubs his tired eyes and looks again, and it's moving again. And the statues of the elephants are swaying their trunks, and as he walks past the bird and reptile zone, he hears chirps and hisses, and he looks at his watch and realizes that it is far later than he expected. So shrugs it off and exits the museum. And as he exits, you see the camera zooms out, and you see a tall, pale person who effortlessly jumps up to the top of the Maximo's skeleton, and you see on his back small green wings as he swoops his hand around, and the museum comes to life. Welcome to Monster of the Week.
Right on. See if y'all can spot the differences.
I miss
And we are
museums.
back.
I remember museums.
Well, we're going to one tonight.
Yeah.
Museum. I never knew him.
Stop. Oh man, that was worse than mine earlier.
Lord.
Wow. We're in it now. The vibe's been set.
So to clarify, Mars, you said this one shot is taking place right before the mid-season mystery.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have a train. You have 2 arms. You have, you know.
For a little bit, anyway.
For
For just tonight, one night only.
One night only.
One
Teddy's
night.
got arms.
Special.
Chuck is just like rubbing himself on the carpet, like, gosh, do I love the train? I wish nothing happens to this train.
I have all
This
these
is my favorite train.
laboratory cars I can use for this one.
I just
Yeah,
like the idea.
I have stuff that I can use in the train too.
I like the idea that Chuck just like plops down on the floor and like rolls around like a cat does. you
Yeah.
know? Like just like
Wiggles.
wriggling his back, like scratching his cheeks on the floor.
How else will they know it's his?
Is that
Yeah.
why cats do
You know,
that?
we never.
Is it a sin thing like
Yeah.
that? Is it
Yeah,
market?
cats
I
do
think
it.
so,
They
yeah.
mark. They're marking their territory. Is what they're doing.
Every time we vacuum the rugs downstairs, Peanut like runs and just like flops on them and wriggles around. for,
It's like the it's
Well-
like the same thing as like peeing, like dogs with peeing. It's just like they're trying to get their scent on it.
Alternatively,
That's why they got the little bulb patches.
alternatively
Really?
for those who are allergic, they're setting booby traps.
Mm.
Yes, that is why.
Yep.
They're poisoning you slowly. Cool.
Anyway,
We're all with the jokes today, man.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
good. We're doing
Yeah,
good, guys.
this is going until tomorrow. Like. This
Oh,
is-
for sure.
Well, you're on the train. I imagine, Anne, you have the closest contact with Lyft, so they probably call you
Okay.
and are like, "Hey, heard you were heading back east. You have a train. Mind stopping in Chicago? There's some.
Can you say that one more time?
You have a
Can
train?
you say that just one more time?
Yeah,
Thank you. Yes.
yeah.
You
You have a train?
Feels good.
Mind stopping in Chicago. There's some weird stuff going on at this. Oh, I need a. There we go. Mind stopping at this museum to check out some weird stuff.
Yeah. What kind of weird stuff?
It's hard. It's not hard to explain. It's hard to explain and be believable. But I suppose that's our entire business. And she explains to you that the Field Museum is coming to life at night. She tells you that they believe they've done a little bit of inspection, but they don't really have the firepower, so to say, to really deal with it. So they've called in you, and they say that they've sent 2 people to help you out. One who you know is Birdie. They say that they believe he can be of help, as well as our new friend Clark, who they mentioned that it might be he will be particularly helpful this mission because of their theories behind what is causing it, which is the Fae.
Oh man, we've dealt with fairies before. This is okay. Yeah, we'll be there soon. I'll have to talk to Teddy about actually stopping there. Yeah. Anything else we need to know?
There's kind of silence on the end of the line for a little bit, and the whoever has called you, whoever is head of Lyft or is head of giving people assignments or whatever, says, nope, I think that's it. Thanks for helping us out. We hope our backup can be somewhat helpful.
I guess we'll see.
And they hang up.
The setups,
Teddy.
the setups for one shots are always my favorite to go through.
Yeah.
Teddy?
Yeah. He's in the engine right now, so you're calling like as the train's rattling.
Teddy!
Yeah. He kind of pokes his head out, and he's kind of sooty.
We got... Oh, well, now you're in here. I don't have to yell anymore. We have
no,
to
his
go.
head's sticking out of the engine, but the two of you are still outside.
We have to go to the museum in Chicago. The animals are coming back to life.
The Cubs are coming back?
The animals.
I hope they do.
The
They've
bones.
had a horrible season.
Wait. Oh, so Chicago?
Yep.
Okay. And he goes back inside the engine.
Are the Cubs from Chicago? I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago
Okay.
Cubs.
I know what I'm
Sure.
talking about, Chris.
No,
I
yeah,
know
you're
what
right.
fake
I
I'm talking about.
I don't know sports.
No, you're right.
I
believe
know
in
I
yourself.
know that enough of sports. And so he he's got like a leather apron on, but he's like shoveling coal into the engine and just begins plotting out the new route to take and calling ahead for the lines to shift.
Teddy's just like in the engine room, like, shit, I didn't know Ann was such a baseball fan.
Yeah. But eventually he comes back into the main cabin and he hangs up his leather apron, which has like most of the soot on it, and he grabs his coat and his cowboy hat and shakes it off and puts it on his head and just kind of tucks it in, and oh, it feels so good to say that. Wow.
Stay tuned for another hour of Saul describing Teddy on the train.
Yeah.
What he does with his hands.
Yes.
And then he opens the door real nice and slow.
Chuck,
Feeling
Chuck
that
and
middle.
Teddy start playing patty cake, and it's like, I'm so glad we get to do this with each other.
I'm so glad I just oiled these hinges. And he'll just come inside and who's all in the main car. I'm like, so to
Chuck
clarify,
shaking a lead box, like, what's in here?
we've got
That's not important.
we've got the main car, and then it's the medical car that Alex is outfitted, and then the workshop behind that as well. I think that those are the three cars that Otex had at the time.
I have a quick question for Mars before we kind of kick off. Do we have Apophis this mystery?
Apophis is in the train for now.
Okay.
I have a reason why he's not going to go into the museum with you.
Got it. Okay.
Very excited.
So.
Yeah, and so then I guess Teddy kind of comes in, switches out his outfit, and then just kind of turns to Anne. And he's like, I didn't really catch what you were saying, just that we were going to Chicago. Now, what's going on?
I got a call from Lyft, and they told me that the animals and bones and other such things at this local museum, the Field Museum of Chicago, they're coming back to life. And it is being caused by fae, perhaps, like fairies. We're going to get to see one of our very good friends, Bertelac de Hout Dessert, and a new guy. I'm excited to meet him.
I don't like new
Apparently,
people.
he's fae too.
Wait, he's a fairy too?
That's what they told me.
I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. It's just, the last time we had dealings with the Fae, shit got kind of crazy.
So let's go in without any pretense. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
All right, fair enough.
Could you say fairy enough?
Wow, this is horrible.
Holy, wow.
Wow, we're on a roll, guys.
Let's go.
We are on form tonight.
And make a Constitution saving throw. DC 400.
Can I take one harm of white armor?
Okay. Come on. We all know that's not the worst joke that we've said.
Super
Okay.
not. Super.
Oh,
It's not, we're
definitely
joking.
Definitely
It was
not.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Cool. I think Chuck is, well, canonically in this timeline. Chuck has just gotten for lack of a better term, the shit beaten out of him recently by a bunch of rabbit-wearing folks. So I think he's just like redoing his bandages from getting beat up as he's just sitting in the relaxing car, maybe drinking whiskey in between doing bandages.
Unless someone came and got him, Alex is not in that car.
I think
Apophis is in that car.
okay. So everyone but Alex is in the main car.
What it sounds like?
I think Teddy's just gonna kind of like walk over to Chuck and say, "You sure you don't want the doc to take care of that?"
Oh no, I'm all. I got all the medicine I need, and then he takes a sip of his whiskey.
Is it all in one?
He's
gulp,
like,
or
fist
is it-
bump.
Teddy lifts up his left arm and gives Chuck a fist bump.
What a classic thing we do.
Yeah, sure, Chuck. Okay. It's weird.
You think? Oh, he sips his whiskey.
I think Teddy's just gonna kind of like knock on the medical door and wait. Maybe he's playing his video games. Knock knock.
Does
You
he
don't know
do
you're
that?
supposed to be
You don't think I
Yeah.
hear the beeps from the workshop?
come in.
I just assume it's science noises.
He opens the door. Alex,
He's actually reading the Book of the Eve.
is he really?
He is.
We do still have that at this point.
Oh,
That's frightening for
Yeah.
reasons we don't know yet.
I think Teddy will. I think Teddy
Oh
will.
God.
Will furrow his brow for like a split second and then say, "Oh, hey, light reading. Can you make sure to put that, or at least give that back to me so I can put it in the workshop after when you're done?"
Yes, always. Absolutely.
All right.
And it pans around to show what he's reading, and on the page that he's reading, there's a circle with 5 statues lined up.
Gosh, Jesus. This guy.
I just because like I don't know where the bird went. I think the bird is still on the train, the one that I created for Birdie in the first place. But and so like I'm assuming that he just kind of like slaloms around the train whenever, like if he's like trapped inside one car and then when you open the door he like shoots in through the next one. So he just kind of like flies. Yeah, just screaming Latin. He like slams into the main car.
He's my son and I love him.
My favorite creature we've encountered in this.
And I think that Teddy's just gonna look at Alex and say, "Looks like we're heading to Chicago."
Chicago?
Yeah.
Any?
Museum's coming to life.
Oh, like the movie Z
Give
at
me that
Museum.
old razzle dazzle.
Yeah, with Ben Zidler.
Yeah.
A classic.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow.
That answers Cyber Goji's question of whether or not this movie is in canon in this world. So,
But it's called Z at Museum, so it's different. See?
yeah, and I think Teddy's just gonna nod because he doesn't know that anything's technically wrong with Alex, and he's gonna close the door and head back into the car.
There's nothing wrong with Alex. I don't know what you're talking about. And he vomits blood. Okay.
The door
Dude, you
closes
got it
and
on
he's
the
like,
book.
Oh no.
Yeah. We were, I think, at the end of Chris's Mystery, we were in like Northern California. So we're traveling from Northern California to Chicago.
Yep.
It would probably take us like a couple hours
Yeah.
by train.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Damn,
Probably
how,
stay.
how fast is this train? Hold on.
Well, no one's ever actually asked me, but
It's as long as we need.
Okay.
It's not
Uh,
super important. I
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah,
I'm
it
like
gets from place to place.
yeah, we get there when the plot determines us to.
Yes.
So
That's how it is.
that's how fast the train is. It's plot speed.
Yeah.
Because I guess after this
it's travel
point,
by map.
I guess by this point we have like, because at the end of the Bigfoot mystery, we were like, okay, we got to get out of here. This was a messed up. We run out, Anne and Teddy have like an argument about magic, and then we leave. So that's kind of where, I guess, chronologically, we're at.
Yeah. What was the argument of?
The argument was like Anne wanted to do magic in the train to find out who Eric was, and Teddy was like, "I don't want
No,
magic
it'll
on
blow
my
up
train.
my train. Don't
It'll
do
blow
it.
up my train.
I wanna
God
blow up
forbid
my
my
own
train
train."
blows up."
Yeah, I
If
have.
anyone's gonna blow up my
No-
train, it's gonna be me.
None of you know this, but I have nuclear materials in my train, and if you cast a volatile spell inside my train, it might cause me to blow up my train before I want to blow up my train. So.
But yeah.
Also, Amtrak takes 53 hours to get from Chicago to San Francisco, so I assume it's like at least 2 or 3 days.
Well,
We are not bound by such.
that's correct.
But,
This is
yeah.
My train is the science guy train. It's special biocoal, and
Do a quick little montage of us all hanging out playing like Monopoly.
if anything, it takes like a day.
One game of Monopoly.
One game of Monopoly.
One
Finish
game of
Monopoly in a
Monopoly
day.
later, you arrive.
It's a long train ride.
Monopoly. Quick question.
Chuck, how did you get Boardwalk? When did you get Boardwalk? I don't remember giving you Boardwalk.
I just felt like it made sense for my character.
You're the shoe.
Yeah.
Is it because it has the word walk in it? Is
Yeah.
that why?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it. That's all there is.
Teddy's. Oh, okay. You're the shoe. That's fine.
Do you want the shoe?
No, it's fine. I'm using the thimble because I don't want to use the train. I want to hold the train.
Oh, okay. Wait.
'Cause I think we're here. I think we made it. We should leave the train.
Yeah, you've made it. You've pulled into a train station. Probably not one of the ones in downtown Chicago, because it seems weird if you were just able to park your train there. But I don't
This
know how
old-timey
train works.
train.
Uh,
Um,
if we like, for the sake of like not having to like get a car and things of that
Oh,
nature,
yeah.
I think Teddy would probably have us stop in the downtown train station and then have just old Tex's AI go and take it to the train yard and shunt it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've made it. You're in the city. It's Chicago.
Is there?
I don't.
Or if I may, very quickly, I don't know, like if we're gonna be able to come back to the train. So like, I don't know if we're gonna like. So for example, we know that the enemy's like Faye, right? So I don't know if like Alex wants to grab.
We think they're Fae. That's
Right.
just a running theory.
Sure, but like right now we're only working on theories.
I am the shoe. I am the only one.
And so like I
running
don't
around
know.
Here.
I don't know if Alex wants to grab like some weapons from his, like from his stash. But I think Teddy would probably want to at least make one gadget before going into the museum.
Use my thing that I've never used.
Yes, use your.
Or,
thing.
no, I used it one time.
You used it one time.
I used it one time.
Well, now you get another chance, sir.
Yep.
Maybe.
I
I guess
if
I
that's
can
okay
use
with
that.
Mars.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Dup, dup, dup.
You know that the Fae are weak to iron, so that might be a good thing to grab.
I'm pretty sure. Oh man, at this point, I think I had made the brass knuckles for Apophis.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
those
had.
were in the Ren Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So then,
And I have my bullets of iron,
that's right, you do.
or whatever.
Yeah, I think I gave you like 6, something along those lines.
But I think I use a certain amount of them during your mystery, so I need to keep that track. I don't remember. I'll just say I'll only use one.
If it was during my mystery, then yeah, I could always just make you some more, arguably.
Sure.
So, yeah. But
Just in case I need these in another week, please make more.
let's see.
And as you are all kind of getting off the train, Apophis walks up to probably Anne, because Anne was the one who got the call, and says, I have to stay here for this excursion, unfortunately, unless there's something I can help with outside of the museum.
Are you sure? I bet you there's a lot of really cool stuff in there that you can like pick up and throw.
And Apophis kind of gets a longing look on his face and says, "I would love to throw priceless artifacts,
oh
but
my goodness.
there is an Egypt section, and if things are coming to life, they might have some not so friendly words or actions to say to me, and I'd like to resist. I'd like to cause less trouble than is necessary. I wouldn't like to cause any unnecessary trouble." And he kind of rubs the back of his neck, and he's like, I'm not sure if I would be of any help or if I would be more of a problem.
Yeah, this is like a high school reunion for Apophis.
God forbid there is a statue of Apophis there.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that'd
my
be dope.
god.
This is so awkward.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I definitely put my hand on Apophis's shoulder.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Real high up. And I just say, "Hey, I get it. Sometimes I see one of my exes at the grocery store and I just have to leave. I just have to drop my basket and go. So you know what? If you want to stay behind with old Tex, I'll take some pictures for you. Maybe not of the Egypt stuff, but
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea to have someone watch over the train sometimes because I don't know, it could get attacked at any time if you really think about it.
yeah, and I don't know what
I have
Teddy
a def-
has in there, but sometimes I wonder how flammable is this stuff?
I have
Is
a
there
defense
world-ending
system.
stuff in this train?
She
I've never
shakes a
asked.
lead box. I don't know what any of this is.
But that sounds good.
Teddy grabs the box and he opens it up and he's like, "Polaroids of my wife.
Oh god.
How dare you?"
You watch his
Canonically
hands
also
burns
on.
because it's all the pictures are irradiated.
Teddy keeps the box full of uranium, also full of family heirlooms.
And I think
Big man.
as well,
So they hurt both physically and emotionally.
I think that as we are probably walking up the steps to this museum or just walking the extra few blocks from the train station to the museum, Anne is just gonna text her superiors to do Boss from Beyond in the usual way.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Let's first go to gadget you want to make.
Yes, thank you. Okay, cool. So I if I had a day and my workshop, I think I would make. So the last time we dealt with Fey elements, they had this very finicky ability to hop between the Fey realm and the mortal realm, right? Jump between the two. So I think Teddy's going to make an iron lined lasso, and kind of coil it out and essentially use iron fibers and wound within, in order to one, make it a stronger lasso in general, and then at the same time hopefully be able to kind of use to maybe entrap Fey or creatures of that nature. But it's cold iron, and yeah, we'll just do cold iron threads. Yeah.
I imagine. I believe this is in January or February-ish, so no matter where in Chicago you go, it's gonna be cold iron.
That's fair. I think so. It's my fabrication workshop move. So I get to, if I need a special item, I roll plus weird, and then on a 10 you can make it and plenty of it if that matters. On a 7 to 9 you make it but only barely, and on a miss you've crafted the wrong thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh jeez.
Oh
Well, sounds like a miss.
no.
Maybe you
Did
missed
you
the
pull a
table.
Masha? Did you throw your dice on the floor?
One of my dice fell on the floor. Okay.
It's only ever one. It makes it really inconvenient.
Thankfully, though, it was a 6. So, 6 plus 2 is 8. With my plus 2 to weird is a 10. So,
All right.
success.
You make it. You've got a metal and rope lasso now.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's cool, iron striations on the coiling and stuff, and so he's just gonna wrap it up and kind of like stick it in behind his coat.
I see him making this, and I look at my whip and I squint.
No relation.
It's a jealous squint.
Oh, and then Teddy still has his sonic rifle too.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm
As a
gonna sneak
plug.
that into a museum, to be honest with you. That's
I just wear a big coat now.
I got a bunch of guns. You want to put it in my duffel bag?
Museums have metal detectors, especially like I would assume this museum has.
I just toss it over very quickly and catch it as I walk through. It's a very. Have you ever seen the movie Now You See Me? Very similar to that with guns.
There is. You are not like sneaking into this museum. You have been invited. You're staying you are intending to stay the night.
Okay, so like if we
You don't
walk
just
in,
like.
you know,
They're like,
packing,
oh, we know
they're-
these guys have guns.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We are fully prepared. These men have guns.
So then, yes, still like within like when.
Is Chicago open carry? I don't believe so.
No,
Any major metropolitan area, that is not going to be the case.
Fairly certain.
But yeah, I think Teddy has his own bag for the sonic rifle that he'll just like again, he's not gonna like try and.
He never
carry it.
wants to put his gun in my bag.
and you walk up to the museum. It's probably about 4:30. I believe the museum closes at 4. I just know that off the top of my head. I really miss museums.
Same.
And in the like lobby area, there is a tall-ish woman standing next to, but she is, dwarfed by Birdie standing next to her, and Clark is standing to the other side.
Can I just be like halfway in the middle of a conversation with Clark?
Sure.
I was like, so you're telling me that you changed your accent completely arbitrarily?
No, yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. If I want to sound like this, I'll sound like this. If I want to sound, like the old days, I'll sound like that. It's whatever I feel like.
Why would you do that?
Because I want to blend in. I want to blend in with the humans. They
But
don't look at me.
Don't you have any pride for where you came from?
Any pride? No. Yes, I have my fake pride, but at the same time, it's very nice to just walk in and get a slice of pizza without any weird looks. It's the same. If I want to sound like this, then I'll sound like this. It's whatever I need to do.
I don't understand it personally, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine, I suppose.
Thank you for your understanding.
Right.
The fabled
Oh, hello,
British accent.
everyone. Greetings.
Hello, it is me. I dislike British people. How are you?
All right, starting off splendidly. It is good
Oh, yeah.
to see you as well.
Yeah, it's an excellent first impression.
I actually don't. I think we've technically Chuck and Bertie have not met.
That's true.
But we would have.
we do-
they
No,
haven't.
I think actually,
No.
I think like canonically in my mystery, it was a bit of a fade to black, but in theory, you guys spent like the rest of the weekend all together actually
Yeah.
Oh,
enjoying the
okay.
Renaissance Fair. So I think you do know each other, but just
Mhm.
not like.
Well, because just I remember in Saul's mystery being like, "What? So what's your deal? You're a tree man. I don't."
Well, spending 2 days together at a Renaissance fair isn't exactly like
Yeah, I know.
they're super well thing.
It's
Yeah.
not like 4 months on a train.
Yeah.
It's also like
Yeah.
like would Birdie have like stayed with us, or would we have like seen him at the Ren Fair during the days? And like
I'm less concerned about the Ren Fair thing and more of like how I like because Chuck like meets Bernie
Bernie.
meets
Hello,
Bernie.
it's me.
Oh, hello, it is me once again.
we are forgetting a key factor in this, in the sense that Chuck is an old man,
Yeah, I'm.
Well, that's
Yeah.
and so he could just.
I'm so old.
I am
mean-
also technically by
Stop.
technicality an old man.
I am
that's
technically
also
an old
true.
man as well. So.
That's true.
So let's
Well,
just
older
stock it up
shit.
to old manness. He's like,
Uh,
hello, tree.
A stream of only old men.
Oh God.
Welcome to Turntables RPG. We have old men.
No monster of the week for old men.
There we go.
Perfect.
Like no country for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe Birdie was saying something.
Yeah.
I said hello. It is a pleasure to see you all. Alive, unspoiled, I think.
Howdy,
Oh,
Sir Birdie.
yes, Sir Bertolac de Hotdessert, Lord of Green Castle,
Mhm.
once again at your service.
Are you still using that long moniker?
It is my name, and I will continue to use it.
If you say so.
They don't hand out lordships. I don't think they do anymore.
I think you can go online and like
Yeah, you can definitely
buy like a certificate that says you're a lord of like 5 feet of land.
Knighthood and lordhood is not bought. It is earned in the field of combat.
No, but I'm saying you can literally like I think you like I don't know much about the internet, but
I don't know
So,
anything about the internet.
I'm surprised
you
that
must be
that you knew
Clark.
about that. Chuck.
Hi,
It's
yes.
very nice to meet you. I was told that you may be a very special help to us on this mission, and I'm going to turn to the woman in the middle, who I presume is like the lift representative.
Yeah. She works like primarily for the museum, so she's got her little like museum badge and all that. But she has connections with Lyft. So she's the one who got you in after the museum closed, and also is allowing you to have guns in here.
Can we canonically say that Lyft mostly
job.
gets most of its like funds from like personal training and stuff like that? Like its members are personal trainers.
Not
And-
very well funded.
Yeah.
You would be surprised.
No,
I
personal
would
trainers
be,
make
because I know
bank.
personal trainers, and that is not always the case.
I mean, they could all be, if they're like entrenched in kind of like regular society, in that like this member of Lyft works at the Natural History Museum, where there are a lot of like fundraising events and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if she like slips in a
They launder
comment
money.
to like the multi-million-dollar donors to be like, hey, Jimbo Gobbledygook, like your tummy's looking a little pudgy. I can
hello, Mr.
help you fix
Gobbledygook
that.
of the Gobbledygook clan.
I would, if you told me I could pay extra to do yoga, like in the Egyptology section of a museum, I'd pay that price. I would
Yeah.
love to
Okay.
do yoga in a museum. Like,
That's cool.
that sounds dope.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
I think so. I Dustin, I just saw your message in the chat. Did you get to roll for your armor?
No, we got into some bits, and I didn't want to interrupt anybody.
Sure.
Why
I
don't
love
you
my
roll for
bets.
that now? We can just
Yeah.
retcon
Yeah.
that you did that on the train.
Anne also has to roll for her.
Boss
Oh
from the
yeah!
Beyond.
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
got
what happens when you decide to spend 2 days playing Monopoly instead of preparing for the mission. So,
That's true.
One day.
That's what happens when you spend a duration of a Monopoly game. It's playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
Who's rolling? What are we doing?
I got 10. 6 plus 1 plus weird, which is 3, is 10.
All right.
So with the armory, you have a stockpile of mystical and rare monster-killing weapons and items. Oops, I don't have any more, I guess. If you need a special weapon, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, you have it, and plenty if that matters. So essentially, cold iron weapons is probably the way to go with it, since that's the expectation right now.
Is it multiple or just one?
It says plenty if that matters
Hmm.
on a 10 plus.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
it's like my fabrication workshop.
So you've got cold iron weapons, and plenty of them.
We've come weirdly prepared. We don't usually do this.
Yeah, I have a lot of fake
we-
killing weapons. I don't know. It makes me feel
We did fight.
Well, we've had bad
We did-
experiences.
Yeah, we got trapped in a video game and stuff not that long ago. Well, most of us did.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Clark. These folk are mostly on the up and up. You'll be fine.
mostly.
Mostly. I only know people so well.
I don't know who either of these people are.
Anne, what did you get for your boss from the Beyond?
I have not rolled it yet.
Does Birdie still think Alex is a lord?
I think you're an alchemist.
I
Well, no,
rolled-
because of the way it ended. The jousting.
Oh, that's right. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Unless explained to me otherwise, probably.
So
No one
Masha,
told you.
It took me a really long time to calculate this. I rolled an 11. On a 10 plus, my superiors asked me to do something simple, and I get to ask a question from the investigate a mystery.
All right,
Um,
so you text your superiors, and they text back. They want you to. What do the superiors want you to do?
Can you get us something from the gift shop, please?
Yeah. They want you to
Souvenir coat.
a keychain.
Can you
I
get
can
us
ask
one
my
of those
question
crushed
first if you would
pennies?
like.
Yeah, why don't you ask your question first, and then I'll.
Preferably the one with the dinosaur design. That'd be fun.
I would like one of those jelly things. When you hold it, it like slips out of your hands. It's very, very fun.
Or one of those
A
plastic,
water wiggler.
one of those
A
plastic
yeah.
astronaut helmets.
Get me the astronaut food. It's very chalky.
Can you give me one of those horse masks? No reason.
I don't even know that they sell those
Oh
things
my
these days.
god!
I do like the horse masks. Like Jeff is the horse mask.
God, Jeff is just a man in a horse mask, and Anne is like.
That's so fucked up.
Realize
so
he's got like
fucked up.
regular people body
Dang.
parts.
I really like this. I wish we would have gone with this. Dang.
Okay. This is I hate asking these questions first. I think that Anne is just going to ask, what sort of creature is it? Because right now there is a running theory that it is Fae, but before Teddy tries to kill Clark or something,
Please.
she'd like to clarify.
And you receive a text from your superiors saying, it's definitely Fae activity. Don't kill the creature. Perhaps suggest mischief somewhere else. So you know that it is Fae, and your goal is to not kill it. Yeah, not kill whatever is causing this to happen.
All right.
I think that once we're all in a room together, I would kind of begrudgingly provide the information that yes, we are in fact dealing with Fae magic here, and that it is best if we do not do ouchie pain damage.
Chuck is like loading his rifle.
God damn it, Chuck.
I mean, we can definitely
I can make
do
it
our
painless.
best. It's just a question of, threats to life and how we handle that. But I think if we approach from a non-violent standpoint, I think we'd be fine.
Yeah, it really depends on how they respond.
Has anyone died here because of this, or is it just like, hey, this is fucking weird?
Yeah, just like some really
no.
scared night guards,
It sounds like
Yeah.
they're just having a little bit of fun to me. I don't know.
Yeah, and when you get to the museum, the woman who works there, whose name is Sophie Wilson, introduces herself as Sophie Wilson, describes to you kind of what's going on. She says, Hi, welcome to the museum. Thanks for coming on such short notice, I guess. We have been having some issues regarding, things coming to life. I don't know what to do about it, and while there isn't, there hasn't been harm yet, there's definitely, and she puts her head in her hands and says, like, kind of, not like she's actually like super sad, but just kind of like she's very tired because she says, I work behind the scenes in the herpetology section, and having to collect wet specimens every morning that have been, hopping around all night is a pain, and it's preventing my research. So if you could just get it to stop, I would really appreciate, I'm not the only, like, I can imagine, herpetology isn't fun, but I imagine trying to get the, the birds and such is even worse. So we just need you to clean things up so that we can get back to our research.
We'll definitely try our best.
Just think of us like very expensive janitors. I don't know what the bill for this is.
She kind of nods, or she kind of looks around, is like, I don't know either, but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we get paid?
No, Chuck.
Why not?
Because you don't have to pay rent. You live in my train.
Well, I still like money.
I mean, you have plenty of it. You have big ziti's every night.
Well, that's from a special account, specifically for my big ZD's purchases.
Do you know how much money's in there?
The knowledge is lost to time.
I mean, it's not like you have some gold buried out in the desert, right? It's an actual account.
Who knows?
Gonna be.
Chuck like pulls out a map and is like, "Where is it? Where is it?"
That's just
no.
That's just what we're gonna be doing, right? Like this whole night is just gonna be us referencing.
Yes,
things
it
that
is. Very
happen
much
in
is.
the future.
I like to think that Chuck's map is actually like a map of the United States on the children's menu of a big ZD's.
Yes.
And it's like actually like built specifically for Chuck to find the spot of his goal.
It's like it's like a map of like big ZD's across the nation, and Chuck has only buried money near a big ZD's because of this map. Fun. He's like, I don't know.
Question for the keeper.
Yes.
So is the museum empty right now, or are there still people inside?
Sophie describes to you that there's a couple of, PhD students and stuff working on some research, but they should be gone within the next hour or two, and I believe you still have some time. I mean, based off when the activity has been starting, you should still have some time before to set up, and they'll leave, and presumably, things will start heating up around that time.
And what time is that?
Just around a few hours after sundown, around 7-ish.
Oh, that's actually a pretty specific time.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly 7-ish. It's like, within the half an hour preceding and following 7.
Fair
It's
enough.
not very specific. There we go.
Right. I mean, is there anything? I'm assuming you're wanting us to, protect the integrity of the museum. Are there any exhibits that y'all are wanting to, I don't know, for us to avoid or maybe roll out back into the back?
I mean, the less damage you cause, the better. This is a research institution, and also, a museum where we show people things, so the less things can get damaged, the better. But, you know, I understand a little bit of wear and tear when you've got things coming to life every night. And she, like, shakes her head and says, I have keys for the back for you. It's a little bit of a maze. But, you know, if you have to go back there, and she tosses you, like, a big old ring of keys and says, you should be able to get into most display cases and, like, you know, the back, if you needed to, but, please don't steal anything. I feel like I should just mention that, because, like, we still do have cameras, so, like, this isn't the chance for a big old museum robbery.
No, definitely understood. I don't think any of us are really in the... I hope none of us are really expecting that.
Chuck is like putting on gloves and like night vision goggles.
He's
like
say,
emptying out his duffel bag.
You're probably gonna want to, I don't know, get rid of that security footage after this.
Okay, I can do that. I mean, we don't go through it unless, like, something's gone missing, so probably we, you know, as long as you don't steal anything.
It's not, yeah, I'm just saying, like, logistically wise, you know, if something did break, you'd probably check the security footage, right? And then it would be a question of whether or not the people watching or believe themselves to be going insane, or if there was a movie shot here after hours starting Ben Zieler.
And
who?
Sophie nods and says, I understand what I'm picking up what you're laying down, and I have a friend who reviews he's the main head of security, so I can definitely get that footage discarded.
Mighty kind of you.
Yes, feel free to review it first as yourselves if you think we've stolen something. But yeah, that, like, Alex has his face mask on and everything like that, like he normally does at this point. So,
yeah, I think. Is there any other like logistical information that we need from the museum staff about, like, you know? Yeah, I can't think of anything unless somebody else can.
Well, I understand you may have already briefed our friends here, but does the activity seem to be centered around a particular place, somewhere that we should start our search or start the night?
She, like, kind of thinks to herself and says, well, it seems like there's been a different starting place every night. The first night it started here, and she kind of gestures to the hall around you. That seemed to be where, you know, things got brought to life first and kind of most drastically. Last night it was I'm pulling out my map because I gotta have the map. Last night it was in, like, you know, the ancient America section. Who knows what it'll be tonight? And she kind of, like, pauses and says, I mean, that's where things have been starting. They've kind of been moving throughout the museum. So last night it started in the ancient Americas, but, you know, I told you about my herpetology disaster, so
Right.
it's not staying in one place. It's almost like something's moving around, or whatever's causing is moving around. The whole museum doesn't come alive at once.
That actually...
All right.
That helps a lot. Yeah, thank you. Actually, one last thing, at least for myself. Does your museum staff, do they carry walkie-talkies?
She says, I mean, the security staff do. we can hook you up with those, I can hook you up with those if you want.
Yeah, if you've got 6, charged and ready, that'd be great.
That, and she, excuse me, she gets you some walkie-talkies, and you've got 6 walkie-talkies.
I think Teddy just kind of like hands them out, and as he hands it to Clark, he's like, "I don't think I've introduced myself. I'm Theodore Ulysses Franklin. You can call me Teddy."
All right. Name's Clark.
So
All
we
right,
can
then.
obviously see the
It's
image
Clark.
there, but do you want to describe Clark a little bit to us?
Yeah. So Clark, he's pretty short. Stands about 5'4". I guess kind of like standing.
Alex isn't the shortest anymore.
Stands about 5'4", usually wearing streetwear, like in this case a hoodie with like a jean jacket over it, with jeans and with ripped knees, showing the knees right there, and then he wears a pendant around his neck in the shape of a sword, and he has like slightly pointed ears. I don't think there's anything else like that. I don't know.
So, Birdie?
No, yes, yeah. Me and Birdie, we go pretty far back.
Yes, I believe it was the incident with King Cornwall. I think.
Yes, it was indeed the incident with King Cornwall. I
A
feel it.
tricky one he was.
Yes, I don't like to discuss it, as you know, but it's fine.
Understandable, perfectly. Anyway.
This is for
Yes,
you,
we
Birdie.
Hmm?
This is for you. And I hand
What
Birdie
is-
a walkie-talkie.
What is this?
Teddy turns it to the right channel, and he hands it to Birdie, and he picks up his own, and he's like, "Shh, over, Teddy to Birdie, over." And you hear it come through the walkie-talkie.
Over what?
Oh, Birdie,
It's a communication device.
you got to get with the times, Birdie.
But you and I are standing right next to each other.
Correct, but it is a large museum, so we will probably have to split up.
Oh, well, the walls are made of rather solid material. If we yell loud enough, perhaps we could just hear each other that way.
I'm surprised a military man would want to lose the edge of surprise, I guess.
Fair. How you push a button?
Yes, the big
They're
one
called
on the
buttons,
side.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I can figure it out.
He's pushed a button in his day.
I pushed a few.
I'm not saying you
I'll
haven't.
push a few more.
He pushes the little siren one, and it just starts
Oh
going off.
God.
You can't turn it off. It's just like,
He's on the wrong channel.
yeah.
Like the whole time.
He's talking to people in semis driving by.
So
Hello,
then-
this is
Breaker,
Butch
breaker.
Lactahout Dessert. What do you mean semi? Semi what?
Why are you semi anything?
Why would I want a semi truck? I'd want a full truck.
It's me.
You said your
And
name is
also, what the
Big
crap?
Hoss?
Oh my God.
Golly jeez.
Sophia would have, or sorry, not Sophia. Sophie would have told us how much longer the grad students would be around, right? Just a couple
Yeah.
more hours, and then they'd be out,
Yeah.
but well before sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, sunset in Chicago in the winter is at 4 p.m. So it's pretty much already sunset, but before things have been coming to life.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Then I think Teddy will just kind of if the museum's empty and it's just everyone who kind of knows what's down, I think Teddy will unzip his I think it's like a hockey, like a hockey stick cover, whatever. And he pulls out his sonic rifle, and he kind of looks at the group and he says, "So we've got ways of communication. I feel like we're all kind of somewhat set up, but do we split up? Do we stick together? What does everyone want to do?"
Well, I've never been to a museum before.
You
What's that?
probably
I can show you around.
Why do you say that?
there's old stuff here.
Wow, Teddy, that's
Wow.
rich coming from you.
I mean, Chuck, he's way older than us.
I don't see age, Teddy.
Don't you though?
I do. That
No,
is
I'm pretty
true.
damn old.
Young people are weird.
I'm older than
Well-
all of you.
I think, considering we have walkie-talkies, it's probably good if we split up a little bit. Maybe one group can go to where everything started last night, and another can just kind of go somewhere else completely, and we can just communicate with each other as we walk around.
I will tell you that, because I forgot to tell you, like, Sophie would have told you the layout of the museum, so I'm going to tell you the layout of the museum. You know that there are 3 floors. The main level, which is the one you are on now, has like the animals, some like, and a lot of the like ancient Americas and ancient like that kind of stuff. So one side of the museum is like all the taxidermied animals and all the animal facts and all that, and then the other side is basically like the ancient Americas and then there is the ground level, which has also the main level has the entrance to the Egypt section, because it's created like a tomb. You go in and it like walks you through this little tomb, and then you go downstairs and it's got the Egypt section. The downstairs also has the underground adventure zone, which is pretty cool. They like act like they're shrinking you down, and then there's big old animatronic bugs and stuff.
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah.
Dibs.
Thing I've ever heard. I miss museums
Yeah.
so much.
Dude.
Oh man.
And so those are what's downstairs, and then there's like a cafe and like a picnic area and stuff, but downstairs kind of has the least stuff happening. And then on the upper level there is the evolving planet, which is all the dinosaurs, and there's like the Sioux exhibit, which is more dinosaurs, and then there's a gem. There's a gem room basically, and like plants, a plant room. Though you figure there's probably not going to be a lot going on in there, but that is where the dinosaurs are.
So then maybe 1 team per level, 2 people per team, and we just check out all the exhibits, and if anything comes, we radio, and everyone comes running.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
It does sound good.
All right.
Who wants to go in pairs? You know, I feel like there's like, you know, some predestined kind of setups, but maybe we can break out of that mold, and who knows?
Sure, if you want to.
Are you trying to suggest that there's there's a column of things that we could?
I feel like the column of things helps, but just naturally, I think we were going to team up with whoever we are on the other side of. Anyway, if that makes any sense. Like the columns, like they help, but like I feel like just naturally, even if we were shuffled up, like the idea would be like Chuck and Teddy go together, and Birdie and Clark go together, and Ann and Alex go together.
Oh,
They'll probably,
okay.
they'll probably
You know.
would have had
I thought you meant like Chuck, Clark, and Ann go together, and
No,
then
it's
Teddy.
So it's 3 teams, and then 2
Oh,
Right,
okay.
people per
3
team.
floors,
Yeah.
but
Okay, I misunderstood
3 days or 2.
the explanation.
is it like you enter on the main floor, you go downstairs to get to the ground floor from there?
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
confusing, but that's how the map is labeled.
Okay.
Upper main ground. Just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Oh.
So I'll go with Clark. You guys figure out what's going on.
All right.
Seems like a fun guy.
I don't know, this guy seems a little overzealous with the murder. I don't know.
That's fair.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go with Clark. And we could go
I
check
don't know.
out the ground level.
I don't think I didn't see that iron last.
I mean, no offense. It's just that, you know.
It's like what we need because we know it's Faye, you know. It's like
Fair.
I was going to check out the Egyptian area anyways, so. Any
okay.
volunteers?
So do we want to just go meet me and Teddy, Clark and Birdie and Alex? Is that what we're saying?
We're so
Look,
indecisive.
I think. Listen, I think
Hello.
that Birdie and I should go on the upper levels because I would love to be there to see his face when dinosaurs come to life. Plus, I promised Apophis some really great photos, and I know that Apophis and Birdie are friends.
I was going to ask, your large snake companion is not here.
Yeah, they were worried about getting into fights with stuff that came to life in the museum, and I think that we're trying to do this whole, like, causing as little trouble as possible. So they're sitting out. Maybe we can FaceTime later. I'll explain what that means just another time. We don't have time right now.
It's okay.
Hey Teddy, why don't you come with me and we'll go check out the Egyptian areas and the right here on the main floor.
Well, I wanted to check out the underground exhibit because I read in the pamphlet that they like shrink you down, and I think that's pretty neat.
So does
Sure.
anyone
All right.
does anyone feel the need to shrink down?
I suppose I'm looking at dinosaurs, whatever they
Yeah,
are.
you're looking at dinosaurs,
But,
so you're
I don't know.
taken. I guess I'll shrink
Already.
down with Teddy.
I guess it's me and you.
Right. Alexander Rose.
Be careful with this one, Clark. This man is, I should note, is of royal descent and is a skilled alchemist. So, be on your best
Both
behavior.
of those things?
But
Yeah.
I don't believe this man is actually an alchemist.
Alex, I know you don't talk a lot about your life, but I feel like this is stuff that I would have heard about.
I am quite aware of his skills with potion making. So,
Drugs.
I'm a doctor.
Thank you. That explains it.
as I said.
A Terusian.
Anyway,
Okay then. So
I believe we split up.
radio if you need help.
Which does leave Teddy and Chuck together again.
Wait, is that what
We're so good.
I had asked for Clark.
What
but I
everybody
guess-
was trying
If
to
Clark,
avoid.
I mean, if you want, Clark can go with Teddy. Either way, two of us have to go with, like the normal group.
Well, I mean,
I guess Chuck and Alex don't get a lot of time together.
I'll go down.
Besides
I'll
that
go-
one time in the arcade, so I
I'll
guess
go
we can
shrink.
swap.
Yeah, I'll go shrink.
Okay, cool.
that'd be good. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
send the fairy to shrink.
Yeah.
But 5'4" is already so small. What's going on?
I wanted to say it. I wanted to say it. I wanted to say it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Some of us did not grow up with working hypothalamuses, so
I don't know big words.
a part of your brain that helps you with growth hormone.
Oh, fun.
Oh, where?
Some of us, if we didn't take growth hormone, would be like less than 5 feet tall. And some
Wow.
of us, not naming
Some?
names,
Okay.
are barely above 5 foot as is.
Okay.
Some of us have trouble finding pants that
Oh.
are not past the ankles. Or mini dresses that aren't actually midi dresses because
Mhm.
I
the
get it.
models online are always like 5'10", and I'm like, wow, it looks so good on them, and then
I mean,
I'm not
they,
5'10".
right? They're like,
They.
they look so good.
Yeah, they're like, it
Yeah,
doesn't fit,
yeah. Some of
people who
us. Some of us.
Some-
deal with
some
that.
of us.
Yeah.
are, not to
Yeah.
name names. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
So
Cool.
which team? Which group first?
Yeah, Mars, choose who you want to follow.
Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. So we've
Start
got
from the bottom.
the ground level, underground adventure, and ancient Egypt. Clark and Teddy.
So, for the sake, because I don't have the map. So, if we were, do we have to go down the tomb to get down there, or is there like
No?
we could just take like
There's like a
elevators or
separate.
stairs?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And then that comes out into like the cafe area.
Yes.
And then the underground adventure is like adjacent to that, and
Mm-hmm.
then farther down the hall, or like the building, I suppose, would be the actual like Egypt exhibit.
Yeah, so you actually enter in like a hallway, and then if you turn like straight left is the underground adventure, and then if you turn back a little bit and then left is the Egypt exhibit, and then basically the rest of the floor is like various offices and like the movie theater thing that all the museums have, and
Right on.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess once we get into that hallway, I just kind of like look at Clark and I'll say, what do you prefer, right or left?
If I'm going to be here, I might as well have fun. Let's go to the left.
Sounds good. And we take the left route. I think that you said the right led to the Egypt exhibit, right? And then the left went to Underground Adventure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then, you know, I worked in a museum, so like, is it still on, or like, is it just like, you know, did they turn off all the exhibits, or is it just like, you know, is it?
For the sake of it being more fun, it's all on.
Dope. Okay, cool.
I bet.
Right on.
So you go into a room and it's like black and white checkered, and as you walk through the room, there's like a purple like UV light that kind of pulses slightly, and the checkers get bigger as you're shrinking down, and you open into a tunnel. It's kind of enclosed, and there's like a big old worm sticking out the side, and there's a bunch of diagrams on like forager or what are they called? The things that worms and stuff, worms and mushrooms and stuff, decomposers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Detritivores?
Yeah.
Is that the technical
You taught me
name?
that word.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
used
Is
it
it
in
because
my
detritus?
Yes.
Such a
Yeah.
good-
It's a good word.
Cool. Yeah, I think Teddy's very excited. He's walking through the tunnel. He looks back at Clark and he says, "You know, I did this once before. Shrank down.
How was that?
You know, it was actually really trippy. It was actually with Alex, the alchemist guy. We shrunk ourselves down and injected ourselves into the bloodstream of a vampire. It was pretty crazy
That would have been.
stuff.
Oh, we could have relived it.
That sounds like something I want no parts of. You're very brave.
Yeah, no, it was wild times. So you I don't really know that much about the Fae. Do you? I've been inside the Fae realm once, though I would say it was maybe like a kind of a controlled visit. What's it like over there?
Quite honestly, you probably know more than me. I haven't been allowed to go back in quite some time.
Oh snap! Not gonna.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
won't-
pry.
I
It's
won't-
okay.
Yeah, that's, you know, respect privacy. Yeah, for sure. Are we through the tunnel?
Are you? I just like to
God,
make
he's
things
just like, oh,
awkward
this
for
got way
humans.
more awkward than I was hoping for.
Clark just like to make things awkward for humans.
He's doing a
I
great
mean,
job.
the tunnel is kind of most of this exhibit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It kind of like winds you through.
And so they're like the enlarged models are on the other side of the tunnel, right?
No, they're like sticking out of the
Oh.
sides of the tunnel. So it's
Oh.
there's like a centipede over there, and like
You know, I regret the decision of coming into this tunnel knowing that these things might come alive.
Oh no, yeah, we're fucked, dude. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're done.
Because that's really creepy. Okay. But yeah, I guess that's us in the tunnel. Can Is there anything like out of place? Do we notice anything that's like I guess Sophie said that there was like essentially an hour where like sunset's kind of like smushed in the middle of it, but like within that hour is when things kind of start coming to life.
Are we like in that hour right now, or is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It is like the beginning of that hour, so it's around
Okay.
6:30. And if you would like to look around, you can investigate a mystery.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead, Diz.
Yeah, and that's plus plus sharp, no?
Mm-hmm.
All right, bet. I got to roll 2 dice because I only got 1. All right, so that's a 6 plus 1, 7.
Dope.
All right. So you can hold 1, I believe. Nope, hold 2. No, hold 1. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
So you, as you're walking through, you notice a couple of like doors, presumably to go behind behind the scenes. I keep calling it behind the scenes. I'm sure there's like a better term for it.
The back hallways.
Yeah, back hallways and lab parts and stuff. So there are a couple doors there. There are also like some. These walls are covered in like fake dirt and stuff, and you can see that like there are some footprints. It almost looks like on the ceiling, that just look like someone was just kind of like walking in the tunnel and like walking up the side and then walking down and walking like spiraling almost. But it's not like they don't appear to be fresh. It's just like this fake dirt is made of foam, so it got kind of compressed and then hasn't really decompressed.
All right. So I'm gonna turn Teddy. Like, humans don't really make a habit of walking on the ceilings, do they? And I point out the footprints.
Teddy looks up and kind of like tips his hat up a little bit to get a better view, and he says, "No, we do not. That is concerning, to say the least."
I said, can we see where the footprints are kind of leading? Is it just going along the hallway, or how do they kind of go by one of those doors?
It just goes down the hallway. It's almost like someone was just kind of like pacing, but instead of, pacing back and forth, they were just like pacing around as they like slowly walked down this hall.
All right. Well, either way, it looks like the footprints are going down the hallway, so it seems like we should continue down the hallway.
Teddy kind of like unslings his sonic rifle and begins to pump some water into the mechanism, because the sonic rifle is steam powered. Yeah, and so yeah.
Should we be getting ready for a scrap, or like what's up?
I'm just prepping. I've got some good like 2 gallons of water here in the stock, so even if I had to release it, I can always recharge.
All right, you lead the way then.
And then I think Teddy will just kind of like keep his rifle like pointed to the ground and head down the hallway.
All right. And with that, let's go to the main level with, I believe that is Alex and Chuck.
Let's go. Yeah, with just the 2 guys, 2 fellas having a good time.
Yeah.
How are you? You doing good?
I mean, yeah, it's all right. I mean, I've always enjoyed museums.
I don't go to museums that much.
Yeah.
Wow, you're good at this conversation thing.
Technically, Chuck is like decked out with like night vision goggles and like a ski mask and like black gloves.
I very rarely.
You don't.
Huh?
You say that you don't go to museums. Is that like You mean normally, or do you mean at all?
I mean, I've been like, just generally, like I didn't go on field trips that much to museums. I wasn't, I had to get like the slip signed. I wouldn't usually get the slip signed. But I've been to a museum once or twice. They're not like a foreign concept to me. But yeah, no, it's all cool. I assume you go to museums a lot.
I mean, not really. It's a bit too social for me most of the time, but I mean, right now it's kind of peaceful.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've gotten to actually like go to like a location and prepare for like a thing. Usually the past couple of months it's just been we go to a place and then we get we get attacked by the thing instantly, or we have to investigate. The fact that I know where the thing is coming, adds a fun like classic twist.
I mean, I suppose you got a point there. We know that something.
I do got a point. He pulls out his knife.
That's not right. Mint.
I know. I'm just a killer.
So, the question for the keeper: this is the floor that happened last night, right?
Yes. So to the left of you is like the Ancient America section, as well as the Native American section, and like the gift shop, and then to the other side is all the like taxidermied animals and stuff like that. So last night it started in like the Ancient Americas section to your left. I think I said left. I meant right.
Sure.
But yeah.
I suppose we could start there, right? And start where it started last night. And
Sure.
Look around from there.
Okay.
Might be some that shows us, I don't know, just they can give us some clue of how it starts.
Cool. I mean, technically, my experience with the whole face stuff, I pretty much just ran around for a bit, but I never actually figured out. They were able to come to our world through a circle of flowers, so I don't know if it's something where they have to have some kind of predetermined thing to help them traverse between worlds, or if it's just, like magic's weird, anything can happen. Really sucks when that happens. Usually it ends up like that, but
Magic is weird.
Okay, cool. Have you called your parents like you said? You promised me you would.
So...
Wow. Well, this is awkward. Let's get to work.
And you walk
Yeah,
through...
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well,
'Cause-
you're walking through the Ancient Americas section, which is like the part of the museum I'm least familiar with, but there's like artifacts and all that cool stuff that museums have. You walk through and you're not really seeing anything of note, but you can always investigate a mystery.
So I was gonna say maybe we should investigate.
Sure. Do you want me to?
What's your sharp?
2.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a 1 sharp?
Yes.
Wow, that's so funny.
I'm cool and weird. I'm not sharp.
Okay.
So, but I can help out if it comes to that.
I rolled a 6 and a 5. So that's going to be
It will not come to that.
an 11 plus my 2 is a 13.
All right, well, hold 2.
Okay, cool. Let's see. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What's being... Okay, so first up, I'm going to say what is being concealed here is my first one.
And as you're walking through, you always feel like there's something kind of at the edge of your vision. You like turn and you can't see it, but it feels like there's someone just out of like view necessary, sort of like if you've ever been to a museum and you keep noticing like the same person and you're like, are they following me? It's almost like that, but instead of it being a person, it's like this little like thing at the edge of your vision that you're like, is that just like what am I just seeing things, or is that someone or something there? And also there are more doors to the back rooms and the back corridors and stuff.
Might be my eyes acting up again, but something's going on here.
What?
I feel like you ever feel like the weight of someone watching you, and you're like, you see something out of the corner of your eye,
Yes, I suppose.
I'm getting that feeling. And so that will bring us to my second question of, where did it go?
So you notice like this thing that's kind of on the edge of your vision, when you go around corners mostly, but as you kind of walk through, it's sort of like a big loop, and as you walk through, you pass a staircase, and after you pass the staircase, you stop seeing the thing at the edge of your vision. So maybe it went upstairs.
I think during all this, Chuck is just like, kind of like a dog, like, oh, I've got my scent, and so he's sort of like hunched over, like Elmer Fudd, kind of like, I'm hunting monsters.
Wow.
Wow.
And so he's sort of just like, he does a little like motion to Alex, like, come on, we gotta go. As he's sort of walking through the museum, following his like weird corner of the eye vision as he gets to the steps, and he's like, okay, I think whatever I'm seeing went up here.
And that is where Bertie and Ann are.
Should we go up and check, or should we wait to see if they call on the walkies?
I mean, I think we should call them on the walkie.
And also, yeah, you have your own walkies.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. He pulls out his walkie and he clicks the button. He's like, Roger, Roger. A big Chuck on the ground. Some stuff heading upwards in the clouds. Not the literal clouds, like the upstairs is what I'm saying.
He's just saying that saw something close.
Copy that, Big Chuck.
Thanks, Small Ted.
It's a good code name.
We're good.
Didn't agree to that, but fine. Over. Because I mean, like the radio would call out to all of us, right?
Yeah, we'd all hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine this happens like, Anne and I have already done something, so I don't know, like.
Yeah.
So are we transitioning to Birdie and Ann?
Yeah, why don't we go upstairs? See how things are up there. So you have the gem room, the plant room, and the dinosaur room.
Okay, Bertolac.
Yes.
Do you know... I'm really sorry if this is an inconsiderate question. Do you know what dinosaurs are?
Frankly, I have no idea. Suffice to say, I believe they're like a large lizard, not dissimilar from a dragon.
Yeah, I guess they're a little bit like. Wait, hold on a second. Are you saying dragons are real?
Well, yes, of course they are. Are they not anymore?
Well, I've never seen one, but I've only been doing this for like
6 months.
4 months. At this
Yeah.
point, it was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I didn't know America existed until only, a few months ago. So, perhaps there weren't any dragons over here. I don't know.
Well,
could
I
fly
think
first.
that it would be pretty cool to check out these dinosaurs because I don't know, they're just big and they're made of bones. I've seen gems and I've seen plants, but
I'm quite familiar with both.
all right, to the
sure,
dinosaurs we go.
After you, we head to
Um,
the Hall of Dinosaurs.
It's called Evolving Planet, and it's very cool. This is the area of the museum I'm most familiar with. So you
Hi.
start off, and it's the Cambrian explosion, and they show you all the cool Cambrian fossils, and they talk. There's like a display, like TV display that shows like what an ancient ocean would have looked like, because Illinois used to be a shallow sea, and so it shows you like what would have Illinois looked like not 65 million years ago, longer than that. And then you unless you want to check out the Cambrian explosion section and then the Tully monster and everything, you keep walking, and every once in a while there's like a big orange stripe that tells you what extinction you're going through and how things change. And finally you get to the dinosaurs, and it's real cool.
I'm like absolutely blown the fuck away by all of this. This is like a scale of time Bertolak had never even considered. Or like the notion of evolution in general also is like fucking bonkers to him.
Sacrilegious.
I mean, he doesn't fucking whatever. He's an affront to God in and of himself. He's a plant man.
That's
But-
that's a sentence.
Yeah,
That's a sentence.
it
That's
sure
funny.
is. He's just
So-
real jazzed about all this, is what I'm saying.
You get to the Triassic period, and there's like you see some cool like not dinosaurs. I believe they are diapsids. So I'm gonna not talk about science. And there's some.
I mean,
They got those big old sails on their back.
we are in a museum.
That is fair. But we also don't want this to go until like 2 a.m. So
This is now
Uh,
Dinosaur Hour with Mars. Thank you.
hello, welcome to Dinosaur Hour.
Let me switch
I
the
should have.
overlay.
Yeah.
This was all Mars's clever ruse to get us all in
To
one
get
place
stuck.
and leave for 2 hours.
Yeah. Surprise.
we
Dinosaur facts
can't-
time.
If we leave, we'll mess up the whole overlay, so we have to stay.
So,
Exactly.
Thank you.
I am here willingly, just for our audience. I like hearing Mars talk about dinosaurs.
I do
which
as
is
well.
why I picked
Honestly,
the
same.
dinosaur section.
yeah.
So, you know.
Well, so there's the Triassic period, which is kind of like separate, because there is an extinction in between the Triassic and the Jurassic period. So you're in the Triassic period, and there was synapsids, and they've got Dimetrodon, and there's little rat-like mammal fossils, and it shows you like, hey, you're gonna evolve from this. And do you want to keep going? Do you want to
Yeah.
investigate?
I think as we're walking, just like seeing all of the skeletons and stuff, Birdie just says, Lady Anne,
Yes, Birdie.
I know we're not supposed to hope that they'll all come to life and like attack us, but I sort of hope they do.
Is it because you want to touch them or because you want to fight them?
Yes.
I knew I picked the right partner to come up here. And I think the whole time I am just like just taking like pictures and video of Birdie just like, whoa, ooh, like pointing at stuff and immediately like sending it to Apophis's iPad because I know that they would want to see these photos.
I imagine Apophis is sending pictures back, but it's just like different pictures of the train and they're really blurry. Like inside of the train and they're really blurry. And sometimes it's just like you can see his big old Cobra hood and he's like it's like a very bad like under angle photo.
Old Texas AI is like
amazing. Just in the background, but blurry and therefore terrifying.
Yeah.
He's holding up a sign like, "Thank God I'm not dead."
Like, so, God, aren't Apophis's beetles held together with like a glowing red energy? Like every picture, it's just like red light.
Yeah.
Just like every picture of Apophis, like the white balance is off because like the arms are producing like it's just.
There's like a red overexposure to it.
I'm putting this in canon that like at some point, you know what? I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna make it a part of my mystery. This is
Nice.
Oh, God.
Oh, very good.
Oh, man.
I like
That's
these
exciting.
on the spot decisions.
Yeah. In case anyone like believed at all that this was scripted, now you can see the actual process of how this comes about.
Or did we
I
just
already
put
had
that
a-
line in there?
Oh,
Specifically
dang.
to fool people.
I'm
You'll
sorry,
never know.
Eric. That was my line. Can I say that now?
Yeah, shit. Sorry.
We're gonna have a conversation after
I
that.
shouldn't have skipped rehearsal.
Anyway.
Anyway, sorry,
But-
Masha. Keep going.
No, I think that Anne expresses the same excitement at all of the dinosaurs that Birdie does, and tries to hide it a little bit, but she definitely finds joy in seeing Birdie be so excited. And then also like saves all the pictures of Apophis
That's
to her
good.
phone. She makes one where Apophis is like trying to do peace signs next to the like old Texas AI, her like background on her phone, because it's just really cute.
I will be drawing that one later.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that at the same time, like, she is on high alert for any movement that's coming from like the actual dinosaurs themselves. And just like looking like front and back and kind of like going around every dinosaur that she can to just kind of watch for like wriggling toes.
Yep.
All right. Why don't you investigate a mystery?
Sure. I'm real sharp. So sharp.
The sharpest.
The sharpest. That is a 9.
All right. Hold 1, unless Birdie wants to help out.
I can. I am also just like in character, super fucking distracted. What do I have to roll if I want to help out?
Help
Great
out.
question. Cool.
Yeah.
Plus cool.
Plus cool. Oh, I have some of that. I have +2 cool. Let's see.
Birdie is cool.
He's pretty cool. That is 5
agree.
plus 2, 7.
So you, so, Anne, why don't you take your hold 2 first, and then we'll see Birdie's
Oh.
exposing himself to danger.
Oh god, that's the thing, isn't it?
No.
Ooh, this is tricky. Okay. I think that with her intense scrutiny, Anne is trying to discover what is being concealed here.
So you also notice, like, doors to the back halls of the museum, but you also notice at a certain point, kind of once you pass the KT extinction, you start to notice, like, that's where the staircase is going downstairs, and you start to notice like something at the edge of your vision, and it seems to be like it's a lot more present. Chuck, you just noticed it like every once in a while. You were like, hey, what's that? Versus, and you feel like it's almost always there, like just out of reach, or just out of sight. and it's kind of following you, not necessarily following you around, but it is also walking around in the like Jurassic and Cretaceous period dinosaur section.
Birdie, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we have some company.
Oh, do
Maybe.
we?
So stay sharp. And I think I might keep my hold for now and expend it a little bit later.
All right.
I'll pull out my axe, as I've been told that something may be nearby.
All right. Well, Anne, I imagine you kind of like wander over to like the stegosaur and are kind of checking him out, and you're like, "Cool stegosaur, great thagomizer."
Fucking top tier thagomizer.
And Birdie, you're right near the extinction boundary in between the Triassic and Jurassic, and there's a pretty cool looking Deinonychus that you are looking at, and you're like, that's so cool. I love this funky little dinosaur. He looks like a bird, kind of. And you're great. It's great. You're really enjoying this until it starts to move a little bit. And then it starts to move very quickly, and you notice something at the edge of your vision as this creature pounces at you with its little claw. It's coming at you.
Yeah.
And
Uh-oh.
do we want to take our break here? Because it's a dramatic little
Sure.
moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
We'll be
No, yeah.
back
I'm very happy.
in 15 minutes, which should be like around 9:03, 9:02, something along those lines. So just pop back on around that time, and we'll start back up. Thank you for sticking with us. We hope that you're having fun. We'll see you in 15.
I did send it to you.
This is Orpheus.
Oh, dude.
Top tier. Good boy.
Top tier cat.
You laid in my lap. I'm hoping he'll stay.
I
Ah!
hope
Oh,
so.
I'm sorry.
he will not stay, but
Oh, man.
maybe he'll
He's
come
camera
back
shy.
later.
Still super cute.
Yeah.
Super. Be cute.
I'm sorry
likes
for
to-
screaming. He was very good.
Do we
He's
want to?
wonderful.
Do we want to go through the snack check?
All right,
Sure.
Snikes.
Who's going first?
I don't have any on me.
I'll go.
Uh,
It's too late. I'm going.
okay.
Dried apricots. I have 3 left. And a single chocolate egg
Nice.
left over from Easter and tea.
A Cadbury?
No.
I've got chicken samosas and garlic
Ooh.
and cheese naan.
Yo, mail me some of that, dog. Hold on.
Come to Austin.
Dang. I was drinking chocolate milk and eating cookies, but then I finished them all, so now I just have a bowl of marshmallows.
Nice.
Nice. I had most of a plate of salmon and asparagus, but I have eaten most of it. There's a little bit left, but
That also sounds really good.
yeah, it's really good.
I have Pepsi and cookies.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
What would I give?
also forgot that Pepsi has caffeine in it, so now my brain is going really
Oh, no.
fast.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
But that's fine.
It's okay, I'm being attacked by a Deinonychus skeleton, so
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
I have Gatorade and the official cracker of Turntables RPG,
Mm-hmm.
hot and spicy
Ooh.
Cheez-Its.
Hey, right on.
When they sponsor us, maybe.
When they
I-
sponsor it.
The logo will look good on the Cheez-It.
You know,
And
you're actually-
CyberGoji, just sharing what our chat is saying. CyberGoji's having golden Oreos.
Yo, Golden Oreos, best Oreos, in my opinion.
That's incorrect. The Chromatica
No.
Oreos are the best Oreos. But
Peanut butter
No.
Oreos.
Personally, I'm a big
What?
fan of the lemon Oreos.
Yeah.
Those are top. Those are top tier.
The only-
Anything lemon flavored, I'll inhale though. So
Yeah.
Not fair.
the flavor of the cookie doesn't matter. It's always double stuff. Double stuff's the only thing that matters.
Yeah,
Double
I
stuff
am-
is too much
yeah.
stuff for me, man. It's
well,
too
it
much.
depends. It depends
No.
on
For
the
me
flavor.
now,
if it's double.
normal Oreos just don't taste right anymore. Now that
yeah, there's not enough.
I've had double
But-
stuff.
The problem is I'm so trained to like take two Oreos apart and put the stuffed sides together
That's
that
insane.
if you've ever done that with
Frankenstein.
double stuffed Oreos, it's disgusting. It's
Bro,
too
it's too much
much.
stuff.
It's
It's
just-
too
Yeah,
much.
I
it
don't
becomes,
think there's
because
such a
then they're
thing.
quad
I've yet to
stuffed.
meet too
It's
much
not-
stuff.
My
It's-
mom would only buy double stuff, right? And my brothers had this I don't know what it like. I can't say it's a tick or like a or they would break apart the Oreos, right? And then they would stack all the filling between two cookies, and so it would be like a
Disgusting.
leaning
That's too
tower,
much stuff.
a leaning
Awful.
tower of Oreo
No,
stuff.
that's
in it.
just enough. That's
Your
just
brothers,
enough.
your brothers are
And like, and
barbarians.
they would just like
They
they would
don't
just have
exist in
the
civilization.
they would just have the cookie shells just like on the table as they were like building
Yeah.
out this little tower,
What
and
do
I was
you
like,
do with the shells?
Do they eat
I
the
hate
Why
Yeah.
are we
cookies?
calling them
No.
shells?
I would-
I don't like this
They're not
terminology.
cookies.
I used to take
Do
them.
you eat your Oreos with the shell or without the shell?
I
You
used to
knew
eat
what I
them when
meant,
was-
though.
Crustacean. What are you talking
but you
about?
knew what I
That's
meant
a-
though.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
meant. Sorry, Mars.
Oh, I would take them and I would take all the stuff out. And this is when I would have them at like my school lunch, and I would create a little ball of all the stuff, and then I would
Okay.
dip the cookies individually into milk, and then I would
Oh.
eat the
Mars,
stuffed ball.
please. Yo.
Very
This is
interesting.
amazing.
Because
Yeah.
most people
Mars
would
has
just do
stopped your
that of
brain.
like most people would do that of just like, you know, they twist it off and then they like eat the icing. I just eat the whole cookie. I'm not a big.
Same. I
I'm
just
not
throw
a
the
big
cookie in my
like.
mouth and then drink the milk.
Yeah, well, I dip the cookie with the icing in the milk and then I eat it. Is usually my deal. I like how that ends up. So I'm not a big piece taker apart. Like I'm not big on separating them. But most people just do the twist and then they lick the cream and then they eat the cookies. But I think it's interesting that
You can't lick the cream though. Whenever I try to lick the cream, it just all comes off at once.
I mean,
well, that's the point.
there's like,
No.
yeah, that's the thing. You take it all off, right?
The point
Like,
is
you
you're
just lick it
cleaning
all
the
off.
cookie off to then dip it in the milk. Is what I see people doing.
That's the commercial.
Unless
'Cause,
I
like,
have the
they even had
Oreo
the whole
culture
thing where
wrong.
They even had like a whole commercial where like race to see who could get all the cream off. It was like a whole thing.
Anyway,
I love this Oreo
I have
discourse.
to. I have to go. I have to go
Welcome-
to the store.
welcome
Goodbye.
to our Oreo podcast.
Since I read out another
Do you
one,
like Halloween flavor? I don't
Hey.
think it's a flavor.
Hey, Bartleby Prime is eating everything bagel chips. Just want everybody to know. Hey Mars, what's happening to Birdie?
Okay, I thought you were asking what's happening with my Oreo eating habits, but
And so to go into detail on that,
We already have.
That's,
I eat
that's
them-
code for Birdie.
yeah,
Oreo eating habits.
I don't do that anymore. I should mention that was in like elementary school.
I say you bring it back.
Ooh.
yeah, I
I-
think it's a fun idea. I think it makes sense.
I think Monster.
Have you guys ever had like the Oreo dippers where
What
they've
is
made
that?
like little sticks?
Oreos.
Pretty fun idea.
Huh?
Said, does Monster of the Week sound like a pretty good idea?
Oh yeah, no,
It
No,
does.
but I'm
Yeah.
saying, have you guys ever had like the Oreo dippers, like where they're like the
Can
cookie
we please
is?
play Monster of the Week?
Yes,
But, like,
Chris.
this-
Now we're playing Monster of the Week.
Ugh.
I do enjoy Oreo discourse.
So Birdie's
Oh.
in
Dead.
danger, in splinters.
Yeah. Birdie, there's a big old dinosaur. Well, it's not that big. It's like slightly smaller than you. It's bigger than you would like it to be because it is jumping right at you.
No, this is Birdie we're talking about. You know very well that he has no problem with how big it is.
That's fair.
We cannot hear you, Eric.
Oh no.
Why?
Oh,
I
there
have
we
my
go.
microphone
There
up.
we go.
Sorry. Yes, it is jumping at me. Do I take damage?
You do. You take 2 damage as it like sinks its claws into you,
Okay.
but it doesn't ignore armor. And I don't know if you have an armor stat.
I
but...
do. I wear armor. I
Yeah.
literally wear armor.
Yeah.
So I will take 1 damage instead.
All right. You just gonna let it keep attacking you, or are you gonna try and fight it?
No, this is precisely what I was waiting for. I am going to take out big axe, swing at head.
All right. Roll kick some ass.
Okay, I am going to roll to kick some ass. My tough is +3. That is a 6 and a 1 is 7, +3 is 10.
All right. Choose an extra effect.
Oh.
You
Oh boy. Sorry,
shit.
what are the extra effects?
gain the advantage by so take 1 forward or give 1 forward to another hunter. Inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm, or force them where you want them.
I think I'd like to inflict terrible harm.
Okay.
I do 4 harm normally.
Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember.
I
Yes.
bet you do, Masha, specifically. There's a reason why the warlock summoned Birdie to fight you guys.
Yeah. This thing like shatters into a bunch of pieces because it's made of bones. But and some of its bones well, technically it's made of fossilized bones, which are just rocks, but like, you know,
Sorry, Sophie.
yeah. But it starts to like come back together and charges at you again.
Oh, it's not supposed to do that.
We're going on Mario rules.
I don't like
Oh,
this.
very good.
Yeah.
Lady Anne, it is
Tag, you're it.
it is happening.
I'm gonna get on the walkie-talkie and I'm gonna say, hey guys, come up to the dinosaurs. We're being attacked by one right now. It's cool as hell, but it's also really scary. Over.
Or is this like right when they call us?
Oh my god, we don't hear each other.
Oh,
This is like a little bit after they call you.
Oh, okay.
okay. Oof.
Downstairs, Teddy just kind of looks at Clark and he's like, "Cool as hell is a pretty good code name."
This is
I
Big
don't
Chuck.
think that's the code name.
Copy that. I am on my way.
Hello, this is Big Chuck. On his way. Over.
Clark,
Yes,
around.
that is what I said.
We're heading your way. Cool as hell. Over.
It's not my intention. That wasn't my intention.
It never is.
I think I would like, if possible, to use my second hold from my investigative mystery roll.
All right.
And I would specifically like to ask, what can it do?
Well, the
And we have to
Deinonychus can bite you and it can claw at you, but whatever is animating this Deinonychus appears to, like, given the fact that it is only animating the Deinonychus right now and not really animating anything else, you get the feeling that its power is somewhat limited. Like, it probably couldn't animate this whole museum at once, but it is definitely, as you are like watching Birdie and this thing fight, you begin to hear behind you like the clacking of more bones as my brain's farting. What's it called? Oh, a Triceratops. My brain could only think of ceratopsid, which is technically a Triceratops, but like, you know.
Semantics.
Yeah, well, one's the like general category and one's the specific creature, so begins to come to life. And let's go all the way downstairs again. You just have received a call that things are coming to life upstairs.
So I'm guessing we're going to be hightailing it back the way we came to try to get back upstairs.
Unless there's stairs at the end of the this
So
time.
it's kind of like a big loop.
It's a big loop. Okay.
Yeah. So when you finish this exhibit, you kind of get emptied back out, and you're probably over halfway through the exhibit at this point. And so you are gonna go through the exhibit, and at the end of the exhibit, there is a big old spider in a big old spider den, and it has its little like spider parts, and it lashes out at you.
Teddy was already pumping the sonic rifle, so you know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Sonic rifle that guy. Roll kick some ass.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
I'm super jazzed about this.
Oh,
What if we had just gone to like the Hall of Gems?
Right. A gem
You
golem.
just get like smacked in the face with like priceless emeralds.
Yeah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson comes towards you. Hello.
Oh my
It is
god. Don't do that to me.
I have no idea who you are.
I'm trying to think.
Hello, it's
Are
me.
you friend or foe?
Actually, don't remember. I think my weapon
I'm
is
famous
still.
wrestler and actor Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Hello.
I think my weapon is still just tough. So that is an 8 altogether.
All right. And you hit this thing for some serious damage.
It takes 3 damage.
And it like kind of squeals almost. It makes a very unpleasant noise.
Sweet chicken pop pop.
It is
Good
standing
lord.
in front of you, and as the recoil of the sonic rifle hits you, it knocks you in like back a little bit into a wall where there's a big old pill bug that
They're
like
so cute though. No.
basically just like runs into you like a tank, and you take 1 harm.
Okay.
Oh no.
For those who may have forgotten, the sonic rifle has 2 whistles. It does the chew, and then the fans open up, and then the augmented chew, the choo choo, and then the second one's the augmented sonic blast. Just as a reminder, because it's been a hot minute since I've gotten to use it. But yes, this is. I'm just imagining like all the tiny little legs, kind of like, touching. And I'm just not a fan. So that's what.
Well,
Teddy-
the legs
one
aren't
of your
little.
friends has arms made of dead bugs. I feel like you'd be used to it by now.
Well, I mean, but they're dead bugs, But this is a live creature with lots of legs that are normally tiny, and in a larger model, are technically still tinier than the human appendage. They're like tiny little fingers, I guess. All
Yeah.
just like touching up on you. So, not a fan.
Man. That's it. I guess while he's being attacked, Clark is gonna reach up to touch his sword pendant, and there's a brief flash of light, and then he pulls it down, and out comes a gladius sword. And he's gonna, I guess the pill bug the closest thing to him.
You are about equal distance from the. So the pill bug's against like the left wall, and then the spider is like over the doorway basically, and is like going down to kind of lash out at you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to meet the spider. So Clark can also fly, being fairy. So there's a energy kind of condenses behind him and takes the form of wings, and he flies up to stab the spider.
All right. Roll kick some ass.
All right. With that, he also has like the unholy strength. So whenever he rolls kick some ass, he does plus weird instead of plus tough. So let's see. Oh, fuck. So it's gonna be 1 and a 6. So that's 7 plus 3. Plus 3 weird. That's 10.
Right on.
All right. Choose 1 extra effect.
Ooh. What would the extra effects be? Like it. What would the extra effects be for that?
take +1 forward or give +1 forward to another hunter. You inflict terrible harm, so you inflict +1 harm. You suffer less harm, so you take -1 harm, or you force them where you want them.
I'll do a +1 forward to another hunter to Teddy.
All right.
All right. And then swords only do. I guess my sword does like 2 harm. I don't know.
I think
Okay.
that's what swords do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And you said you were going for the
Spider.
spider. Okay.
Yeah, just flying up there. Whoop.
Yep.
He's my Samwise Gamgee.
And the spider is not looking too great, but it is looking good enough to still attack you.
Oh no.
And we'll go up another level to the Chuck and Alex.
I guess we're at the bottom of the steps. I guess Chuck's gonna head up the stairs.
All right. You walk up the stairs right into like the dinosaur room, right into the Mesozoic era space of the evolving planet. And there are your friends and Birdie, and there's a big old Triceratops with its big old horns looking right towards them, and then there is Deinonychus, kind of eye sockets, I guess, locked with Birdie. Yeah.
Cool. What's Alex doing?
I mean, if Chuck's going upstairs, then Alex will follow. Like, there's nothing really more for him down here from the
All right.
Cool. So I think is this skeleton dinosaur attacking Birdie, or are they just like just doing a staring contest right now?
It has just finished attacking Birdie, and it's just kind of like it's still like forming itself back together, basically.
Okay.
So it's looking at him, but it is definitely posed to attack again.
Okay, cool. If it's looks like it's going to attack Birdie, Chuck's gonna shoot it.
All right.
I guess Chuck's sort of like its bones. I don't. Do the bones hurt? My bones hurt. Let's give it a try.
My bones hurt all the time.
And this thing's older than me, so it must be in a lot of pain. Anyway.
It's cold weather outside.
It's
Okay.
cold out today.
So Chuck's gonna kick some boutte with his hunting rifle.
All right.
Okay, fun. I rolled a 2 and a 3, which makes a 5, plus my 3 tough makes it an 8.
All right. How much damage does your rifle do?
3. And would you say that this bone dinosaur is expecting this attack from the stairway?
I would not, but it does not matter, because as you shoot through this this dinosaur, is there anywhere you're aiming particularly, or just kind of?
I think Chuck's just kind of like, I think, like maybe for the neck. I think he's like, oh, if I shoot like something that's gonna be like, I think his mind is like, I was asked not to like actively break anything, so I'm hopefully not gonna like put a big old hole in his noggin, but maybe like something where
A vertebrae.
You'll just destroy a vertebrae instead.
yeah, might
and
as well.
as the bullet makes contact with this vertebrae, it just like explodes into a million little pieces, because fossils are very delicate. And you just shot it with a gun, but
Cool.
it does not come when you do this, it does not come back like it did when Birdie hit it. So you now just have a Triceratops to worry about.
Cool. I have now killed a dinosaur. I can put that on my list.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure hope that you don't get killed by a dinosaur in another life somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a helicopter or something.
Masha frantically takes notes.
Alternate
And-
universe.
Alternate universe. Are we saying Chuck's alternate universe self is whatever his face. His
Yeah.
Dane.
It's like a reincarnation.
Dane Horner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dane Horner.
Chuck being a reincarnated version of Dane Horner is a sad life.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like
Yeah.
Pretty tough for
Lord.
him.
Cool. I'm glad we did this.
But as you shoot this this Deinonychus, it like falls apart, and some of the like rock shrapnel goes like it explodes. So you've got rock flying at your face, and it hits you, and it doesn't feel very good, and you take 1 harm.
Okay.
It's really expensive dust.
Yeah.
I'm expensive dust.
Very cool.
As I see Chuck come up and shoot the dinosaur, I am going to call out, we're not here to fight the dinos, we're here to fight the thing that's controlling them. I just don't know how to get to it yet. And I think I am going to try this Tyrannosaur, no,
Triceratops.
Triceratops,
Triceratops.
different
Triceratops.
dinosaur.
Not yet.
Ceratops.
Not yet. This Triceratops is still coming together. I would like to try to grab a hold of its skull
Oh.
and then angel wings to a different part of the museum.
Yo.
That's so.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
so
so
cool.
good. Oh my
Dang.
That was
god.
dope.
10
I
out of
wish I
10.
had
That's-
magic.
That's dope.
I was gonna just try to wrestle it, but that's like
Yeah.
galaxy brain.
Yeah. And you
Big brain masha.
take this skull away, and the skull was kind of like animating, like the mandible was starting to move and stuff. And it probably like tries to bite at you, which it's just like they have big old parrot beaks. You do not want to
Mhm.
get in the way of that. But
Definitely like touching it as like
Yeah.
you know, like really arms lengthening it as much as I can.
Do you have-
yeah,
Do you have to roll for this?
It's not another person.
yeah.
There's another creature.
I mean, it's
It is a
inanimate.
creature.
It's inanimate.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
the question is whether or
Well,
not you.
It's not inanimate anymore. It's just trying to bite her.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Well, I will say that you do not have to roll for it because it is not the thing that is like alive necessarily. Like it is not coming back to life. It is being animated. So are you going anywhere specific in this museum? Or like are you going to someone? Or are you going into like the main hall? Or just like going back into the like Cambrian explosion section of the
Oh my gosh. Here, Apophis. Bye.
Oh my god, I'm not.
I was really hoping you'd like accidentally teleport it down to Teddy and Clark.
What a situation.
That would be
that'd
so
so-
funny.
That'd
Just
so
to be
cool.
like,
I am going to teleport, I think, I haven't been to very many spots in this museum yet, so I think I'm just going to teleport to the main hall.
Okay.
And like put it down on like a cushioned bench or something and
Mhm.
take a step back and just watch it for a moment and see if it see what it does.
Wait, this is
I'm
the
just-
Triceratops skull, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's probably real heavy.
Yeah, it's real big.
Oh yes,
like,
it is
Oh.
real heavy.
You
Like,
just
I am-
set it down on a bed.
Just,
like, yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
just crushed it.
Fun unrelated fact, but the flooring in Stanley Field Hall is made of limestone, so there's tiny little fossils in it. And
Holy
it's
shit.
really cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Uh,
There's
fuck.
a big fossil on it.
And now there's a big fossil on it.
Oh.
But the big fossil doesn't move. It just you've teleported a giant piece of rock. It's just there. Like you're like, hey, Triceratops, and it's like, because it's a skull, and it doesn't do anything.
Birdie
Uh,
like turns around to face like Anne and the Ceratops skull and like looks very excited for a second, and then they both just disappear. And then there's
Oh.
suddenly just very like, I think confused and a little disappointed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. He did not know you could teleport, but it checks out.
I think obviously the rest of the party is doing something at this time. However, I am going to point at the skull and I'm going to say, I need you to stay put. And then I will go ahead and angel wings back up to the hall.
Sounds great. So there, it is quiet now in the like Mesozoic hall. But maybe not for long. We'll have to wait and see because let's go downstairs to
Oh no.
our friends facing the giant bugs.
Definitely not quiet in Spider Town today.
No. Wait, would you quit yelling? I'm trying to kill a spider. I'm trying to...
How much damage is left on this spider? It's taking like 5.
Taking some hits.
It's a big spider.
Thing's a tank.
I guess when we cut back, Teddy's probably like pinned up against the wall with like the pill bug just like slamming him into it. This is the worst. He's very envious
You mean the best.
of Clark's wings. He's probably dropped the sonic rifle, so I think he's gonna try and get the revolver out and just like unload into the pill bug, and hopefully it will stop.
Kick some ass.
Okay. Oh god. Okay, that's not bad. That's a 3 and a 4 is 7. I have a 0 to tough, so it's a 7.
All right.
Could I help?
It's not. It wouldn't do anything because
it wouldn't
Yeah,
do
it won't do
anything.
anything.
Oh, it's tough.
But how much does the revolver do?
2 harm.
Okay, well, you are aiming at this thing, and it's like it is big and armored, but you are aiming at its stomach, so it does not feel very good about that, and it rolls off of you. Yeah.
And I think Teddy's gonna look up at Clark and say, "Well, what are you waiting for?"
Well, you won't do anything anyway. He's just gonna try to stab at the spider again.
Okay. Roll kick some ass.
Alrighty. It's a 2 and a 6, so it's an 8 plus 3, 11.
All right. You kick some ass. You choose one extra effect as well. Oh, Teddy,
Yeah.
did you take the? Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
I think I'm gonna choose inflict terrible harm this time.
Okay. And you do, and you like run your sword through this thing, and it just like collapses apart. And there's some like animatronic and also not animatronic spider guts on the floor, but
And the legs are still
it
kind of like
doesn't-
slightly moving.
yeah, it's
Where does it
like
just curl?
it's not attacking you anymore.
Clark is just gonna float down like that's bloody gross.
Teddy's like, next time I see an animatronic, I'm gonna attack it right away.
Teddy's gonna like take off the hat and kind of like dust himself off, and he's gonna say, "Sorry about that. It just threw me off. Fucking, I don't like it when machines come alive, and I can't control it."
I mean, that's fair. I don't like being attacked, so I understand the sentiment.
Would you no? Go ahead, Mars.
Oh, just like as Clark, as you like hit this thing with your killing blow, it lashes its leg out at you one more time, and it hits you in the gut, and you take 1 harm.
Fair, got you.
But that's it.
I think Teddy will. Oh man, he'll just look at Clark and say, "We should probably head upstairs."
Would it be faster for me to fly us, or like?
Well, there's like we would be going the same direction anyway.
Okay.
You know,
I know,
because there's like we can't fly up. I don't think. Is there like an open?
No.
set up?
Nah, yeah,
No,
we gotta like.
if you get onto the main level, there's an opening where you
Gotcha.
could fly up, but like
Might as well just
From
run.
the
Yeah.
floor, we
Yeah.
should just go, up the stairs and maybe fly.
yeah. And you fly like you get upstairs. I imagine you get upstairs kind of just after Anne has dropped off this Triceratops skull, so there's just you're like, that wasn't there earlier. But
Good to know they're trying their best not to break stuff.
Yeah, we haven't been as successful. It is still like
they
kind of
started
trying to find. Yes. It's like the Triceratops is still like kind of moving a little bit, like mouth wise.
no, it is not moving at all. As soon as
Okay.
Anne teleported it away, it stopped moving.
Okay, but
It's like trying to shift itself forward on
Yeah,
its
just
jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you are in the main hall, you hear a weird noise. It sounds sort of like a duck mixed with like a roar mixed with like an echo. And the those of you in the Evolving Planet exhibit, you see this Parasaurolophus come to life, and there's this big there's this big thing next to the Parasaurolophus where if you push it down, it sends the air through the tubes of the skull, and so it makes the sound that they might have made, and so that's where that noise is coming from.
oh, that's cool.
Is this a like animatronic Parasaurolophus, or is this like a skeleton?
It is a skeleton, but the like thing next to it was basically just pushed down as the skeleton was coming to life.
Okay, cool.
And this is still on the
How
third
tall
floor.
is it?
It is big. I believe it's like 15 feet. Let me double
Oh,
check
that's pretty
that.
big. Yeah.
That sounds about right. Okay.
Like 15 feet long, and then like probably 7 feet tall.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Dinosaurs are somehow bigger and smaller than I thought they were at the same time.
Yeah.
This is still
I
on the
would
third
like-
floor.
hmm
Okay.
I would like to comment that I looked up the dinosaur just because I don't know very many of them, like off the top of my head.
Same.
And the third hit when you Google it is the Jurassic World fandom page
Really?
for this dinosaur,
It is.
Yeah.
You're right.
which I think is really funny because what is Jurassic World / Park Wiki if not just information about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
But your
I just
ordinary
love it.
dinosaur wiki couldn't give me information on Dr. Alan Grant.
Yeah.
But normal Wikipedia probably could, so it's...
Also, double the dimensions I just said. It's like 30 feet long and it's
Oh,
15 feet tall.
Oh yeah, 9.8 meters. Holy shit.
Big.
There's
Be
not as
big.
good of
Very
a
cool.
strategy for... Is it just like charging at us, or is it...
Oh,
It's
you guys
still kind
suck.
of coming to life. You don't really know how it's going to try and attack you. It's an herbivore, and it's not like super built for fighting, but it is made out of like heavy rocks, so
It is much
it could
bigger
probably-
than us.
punch you and it would not feel great.
Well, lads, I believe... In the interest of not destroying all of these things, I feel like I shouldn't be the one to take the first approach at it. I mean, I can try to grab it, but I don't really know how well that works.
I only function in shooting things, so
And you, my lord.
I mean, and he just kind of looks down at his rapier, then up at the literal rock in front of him, and then back down at it, and he goes, "Well, If it has a life force, I guess.
Can you suck its blood?
All right, well. The path of pain it is then, and I just fucking charge
Yo.
at it. Yeah, I'm gonna get at it, and I'm gonna try to, I guess, like, grab its leg.
Can I make a suggestion just because I think it would be really cool?
Yeah.
It's got that big like tube thing on its skull that's like 6 feet long. I bet Birdie could grab that.
But it's way up there.
Yeah, but it's shorter in the
It's on
front.
all fours.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Bro, you got hops. You can make that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's,
I will.
it's really like 7 feet high because it's
Can
on all fours,
I,
but-
in that case, running jump to put it in a headlock?
Let's go.
Absolutely, you can.
We're
Fuck
going to
yeah.
a rodeo,
Alright.
baby.
All right, in that case, I suppose still kick some ass.
Yeah, are you trying to restrain it or are you trying to hurt it?
I have a move called Wrestle. That
Okay.
allows me. It is 2 harm, intimate / hand, and it also has the tag restraining. So functionally, I think that will keep it from moving as long as I
Succeed.
am able to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, roll kick some ass, I guess.
Okay. That's cocked. That is 5 and 1, which is 6, plus 3 is 9.
And you charge at this thing and you like leap up and you grab its horn, I guess. I know it's
Yeah.
got a
Yeah,
name,
there's
but I
a
can't
phrase
remember
for it.
what it's called.
Yeah.
And it like butts at you at the same time. So does Birdie have lungs? It does the equivalent of knocking air out of you, and hits you for 2 harm. But you are on top of this thing, wrestling it, and you hit it for 2 harm as well.
Yes. And now it is. I got it.
And now you got it.
Perfect. Hold on to that as hard as you can, Birdie. I've got an idea.
All right, gentlemen, it's your time to shine.
Am I back yet?
And
Yes.
I am videotaping this whole thing.
Oh my god.
Very good.
What's Alex doing?
Carry on, Alex.
Alex is gonna take his rapier, brandish it, and then cut his own hand as he starts to
Oh, look, you're not supposed. Look, we're supposed to hurt them, not us.
cast a spell.
Oh.
All right. What is he casting?
I'm going to try and use magic to banish a spirit or curse from a person, object, or place it inhabits.
Oh.
I'm going to try and banish the thing that's animating. Like, obviously, I don't know who is doing it, but something is like in this thing making it animate. So he's going to try and basically take that power away from it.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, to like banish that, whatever.
Yeah. Roll use magic.
Yeah. Here we go.
I will say this is gonna be more akin to wait, no, that's what never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. Just continue.
Okay, I got 8. So it works imperfectly. Choose your effect and a glitch.
All right.
So the effect is to the banish a spirit or curse from the person, object, or place it inhabits. And we will go with the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Oh.
Okay. So you watch as this kind of like sparkling green energy seems to seep from the fossils and just kind of disappear into midair. But as it does so, it is like it sounds like 1,000 wind chimes all at once, and it's not particularly pleasant. It is, and someone pops out in front of you, and it is a tall, kind of androgynous-looking person, and they have green wings and a smirk on their face, and they say, how impolite. And then they disappear again, but you see kind of that green dust following like it was following them, and you see that green dust go around the corner, like past into the next room.
Gotta move quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my phone away and just like full tilt, like sprint into the next room to see what this creature is about to animate next.
Did
All
you
right.
deanimate the bone successfully?
Oh yes, the bones are
Okay.
successfully
Okay,
deanimated.
they just fall apart in my hands, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, all right," and follow after.
Given how much time I know, like setting up displays for dinosaurs and
Yeah,
stuff
that's
takes,
a
I'm like,
nightmare.
I'm so
Ooh.
sorry to the
Very
fictional,
tough.
like,
Staff of this museum.
yeah, the
very
fictional
tough for
staff
them.
of this museum.
Sorry, I grappled the shit out of your dinosaur.
The main bad guys for next season is just going to be these guys taking revenge
Yeah.
on us. for
Yeah.
being such a mess.
Paleontologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really PO'd paleontologist from the Chicago Museum.
Yeah.
So where are we going into?
You're going. So you're passing. I know they've actually redone this part of the museum, and I haven't been able to visit since, because they redid it right before COVID hit. But I'm just imagining how it's going, because now you're going into the Sue exhibit, which is all about the giant T-Rex.
No.
Oh, this is where
So-
Sue is. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love Sue. I follow.
Yeah.
I follow them.
Yeah.
From
so do I.
McDonald's?
Huh?
From McDonald's?
No.
Hmm?
What?
Sue
Mickey
was
D.
partially bought by McDonald's. Like Sue.
What?
The reason Sue is at the Field Museum is because they had an auction, and at the time it was the highest a fossil has ever sold for. If you're interested in this, you should watch the movie Dinosaur 13. It's really good. But it talks about the whole legal battle regarding Sue and like her finding and her discovering and everything. It
Holy
sold
shit.
for $8.7 million.
Shit.
The Field Museum got it because both McDonald's and Disney helped fund it so that it could go to a public like place instead of some private collector. So yeah, they
That's pretty
bought
cool.
it, and yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
it's very cool.
Thank
There's
you, Ronald. Anyway,
there's a
And
book
Walt
on
and
it.
Mickey.
There's a book on it, and I don't remember what it's called, but there's a documentary version of that book called Dinosaur 13 because Sue was the 13th T-Rex ever found, and it's really, really interesting. And I believe it's on Netflix. And
Oh shit.
if you
I
have
had-
any interest in legal stuff or paleontology, it's pretty good.
I
Wasn't
had
she the
just
most
watched a
complete for a
video
while?
today.
When she was found, wasn't she the most complete?
Yes. Yeah, and
Oh, it's found
Okay.
complete.
mostly complete.
Most.
I believe 97%.
I
Oh,
learned
that's
about
pretty
this
complete.
today because I was watching a YouTube video about many themed McDonald's
Hmm.
that no longer exist, and during the video they talk about how there was a McDonald's in this museum after they had bought Sue the T-Rex and then donated it to the museum and then paid for
Yep.
it to be. Anyway,
Yeah.
during
So-
the time, if your name was Sue and you could legally prove it, you got a free McFlurry.
Very
wow.
cool.
Cool.
So-
They're in that exhibit
really
now.
So we're
Yes.
So we're
Yes. I have
Well-
so much information about Sue, and I'm trying not to just like talk about her for like 20 minutes. But
I
continue.
have so much information about McDonald's.
Okay. So I asked that question of where we were entering into because Alex is going to take out his walkie-talkie as he chases after this thing and call down.
We're going to see Sue.
He just has that ready.
All right.
A little warning next time, please.
Who is Sue?
Sorry.
Sue.
It's a T-Rex bought by Big Z's. Don't mind it.
Are you using like a filter for your voice, or is that just happening?
That's a filter.
No, yeah, it's a filter, but it's new, so I don't know like how
Okay.
loud it gets or anything.
Are you using like voice mod or something, or what are you using?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
exhibit.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
yeah, so
Exhibit.
dragon fast food, dragon. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Dinosaur.
So Alex just called out to tell us where it was. Are Clark and I at least up on the main floor now?
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. So
I-
we're just hightailing it straight to where Sue is, pretty much.
Did you want to fly us up there? Because it's open now. We could fly up
Oh,
to the third floor.
if it's faster, yeah, I'll just grab you and fly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's probably a few seconds faster.
You grab me and I just look at you and I say, "Don't drop me, please."
Don't worry about it. I'll throw him up and then activate
Whoa.
my wings and then catch him again and start flying.
You're a lot stronger than your frame makes you out to be.
I work for Lyft for a reason. And just keep going.
Fair enough.
All right.
I love
And,
the notion. I love
uh,
Keep going.
You're good. You go up to the evolving planet exhibit, and right outside there's like this cool little area where you can see fossil prep work being done. But that's not really of interest to you. It's just a cool thing about the museum. Welcome to my museum facts hour.
We're just advertising for the museum at this point.
This is
Yeah, Field Museum. If you're looking for people who really like your museum, hello. I don't have a job.
I wish we were sponsored by the Field Museum. Holy crap!
You should just email their like employment, like their HR with this whole stream, and they'll just be like, "Well, we just have to make Mars a docent."
Yeah.
They just
Maybe
did so
less
much.
violence against skeletons next time.
Yeah.
And
I'll either never be allowed back or I'll become director of the museum. Those are the
just
two
one or
options.
the other.
one or
There's
the
no in
other.
between.
Yeah.
No in
Those are
between.
the only two options. Yeah.
But you are you can go through like the exit area, because normally it would be like a linear path and you'd have to go through the Cambrian explosion and everything again. But you can just skip past that by going in the exit, and you'll have to walk through a couple like early human stuff, but you can it's going to be faster if you go through that way.
Sounds
So.
good.
All right, bet. So we're just. I'm back.
And you are all in the big Sue room, and it's got Sue in her like new updated position. She's got her like gastralia, which are like these weird secondary ribs, and they're super cool. And Sue is the first time they ever found them in T-Rex, like a T-Rex, and they didn't know where to put them, so they mounted them separately. But then when they redid the Sue exhibit, they were like, now we know where these go, let's mount them. And it's very cool. And yeah, there's a big old dinosaur right in front of you. And a lot of like information on Sue. And there's a green dust that you notice kind of settling right onto Sue herself, or themselves.
I think I slow to a halt as I enter and just take in the majesty of this terrible large creature.
Chuck's just sort of like behind everyone, like, I'm not a betting man, just out of personal politics, but I feel like we might want to destroy these bones real quick.
Large, well, not large. Are you in here, fairy adversary?
And from kind of all directions, you hear like a laughing. It's not like a malicious laugh or anything. It's it's one of those laughs when like someone just got you, they just pranked you, and it's like, you know, they're laughing about it. Because
in my experience, they aren't the most straightforward.
Well, no, that's very true. Certainly. I can't hurt to ask, I suppose.
Do Teddy and Clark arrive at this point?
Yeah, are we in the room
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you arrive from like the other side of the room, so you are behind Sue, and everyone else is like in front of them.
Teddy just goes, "Oh, it's Sue. Good to see you again, girl." And then he's just kind of like holding his rifle and scooting around.
Does he have a history with Sue?
Maybe. He's a side
Teddy was
guy.
around when they excavated.
Did Clark like hear the laugh too, like the laugh all around?
Yeah.
Clark is gonna like be out like, yeah, it's actually a pretty good joke. It's a joke I would have played back in my younger days, but unfortunately, you have to calm down. And he's like saying it to the fairy.
Mm-hmm. And the like voice laughs again, or the voice echoes. The laugh echoes around the room again as this big old dinosaur fossil starts moving, and it starts moving towards the four of you who are standing in front of it. And from like to the side, there is a separate display case with Sue's skull because it is too heavy to mount. And you just hear like a kind of what you expect might have been a roar if it had lungs or like, you know, the things to make a roar with. So it's just kind of like this creaking of a big jaw that is coming apart and then like crashing down on itself. Yes.
So Sue's skull isn't mounted on their body?
No, there's like a fake skull mounted.
Okay, so there is a fake skull there.
Yes.
But okay.
That is, I probably should have clarified that, but
Very
like
good.
couldn't have mounted the whole. I think it's like, I don't know. It's a lot
Big.
of pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
many pounds. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Quickly, take the head hostage.
I'm super torn about this because I, as Eric, don't want to destroy Sue, but I, as Gordalak, so want to swing an axe at this thing.
There's a reason I gave you that knowledge that its head is not its real head.
The rest of its body.
That's fair. But you can swing at its head without damaging the fossil.
Teddy sees the glint in Birdie's eyes, and he's like, whoa, okay.
I'm not getting paid for this.
You can hit the head. The head's fake. Okay. But everything else, do not, just don't. And then he's like, we need to, wherever this guy is, we've got to smoke him out. And then we can maybe trap him and then talk. Because it doesn't seem like he's ready to talk right now.
I find that they're very rarely ready to talk.
You know, playing pranks without introducing yourself is awfully rude.
I don't think you know how pranks work.
I don't think you know how Fae work.
Honestly, I would like to take credit if it was me playing this good of a joke. Because quite honestly, I'm in stitches on the inside.
Cool.
Indeed.
I mean, if we destroy this fossil, won't the Fae just move on to the next? I mean, where will it end?
Well, I guess my hope would be that it would run out of energy at some point, but I don't know what they're drawing their magic from if they're kidnapping a bunch of Big ZD's workers and taking away their souls. That might be a whole thing.
Clark, do you run out of juice, or do you just kind of go forever?
What's your fuel? Are you electric?
I've never been pushed. I've never been pushed enough to run out of juice.
So I really appreciate this conversation.
Juicy.
No, don't say that.
I do appreciate this conversation, but that dinosaur is getting closer to us.
Yeah, and we're talking about this guy wearing himself out and then also destroying tons and tons of priceless fossils.
You all deal with the fairy. The beast is mine.
I think you don't understand that they're the same thing.
And Clark, I imagine actually you can see that on top of Sue, like riding where her neck would be, but it's just kind of like like vertebrae fossil. So it's so just sitting on top of that is the Fae who is pulling this prank, but only you can see them.
Oh, okay. Can I fly over there to like where? All right, and I'm still holding Teddy this whole time, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay.
with like
Take him
one
with
hand.
you.
With like one hand, I'm just like holding him while I
Well,
fly
there he
over.
goes.
And I just like land right next to him, like, so hey, how's it going? How's tonight going? Been going good for you?
And
Chatting.
Who are you talking to?
Don't worry about it. So,
and the Fae laughs and says, I've already forgotten what voice I gave them. It's such fun to be playing around with people to visit my to watch my chaos.
no, I do. I understand that it's very fun, but don't you think this is a little, I don't know, boring? So you say, uninspired. I mean, this is something that a novice would do. I feel like this is bigger for you. I feel like it's like you could do more than this museum. Yeah, you're constricting yourself, lad. You're constricting yourself.
And this Fae kind of tilts their head and says, what more could I want? I have a museum that I run to life at night. I get to free a bunch of frogs and watch them hop all over through the halls, and then there's birds that I can make fly, and there's giant dinosaurs, and with that Sue opens their mouth as if they are roaring at you, but again, no lungs means, can't really make sound. But and Sue is still like charging at the
at the group.
But new research came out recently that says that tyrannosaurs may not have been like their average walking speed might not have been over 3 miles an hour. So
Oh,
So really just ambling towards us.
oh, they're just
But also, new research comes out about that all the time. It goes from like 40 miles an hour to like 3 miles an hour, and But
okay.
So do I shoot it? I don't know where we land on this.
You can shoot the head, just not the one that's in the case.
Well, hopefully I don't miss, and so Chuck's gonna get ready to shoot it at the T-Rex's head.
All right, Clark is gonna fly off before they start shooting.
that is smart. Roll kick some ass, Chuck.
It's what I do. Okay. That is going to be, I rolled a 5 again, so plus my 3 tough is going to be 8.
All right. Oh, you don't
Yeah,
choose
that's
my
just-
shirt effect. Okay.
Yeah, that's just 2 harm then with my rifle.
All right. As you shoot it, that's what I'm trying to say. It like comes and brings it like itself down on you, kind of. It doesn't necessarily try and bite you or anything. It just like it's made of big heavy rock. It just kind of tries to crush you.
Oh, good. Here I go.
And you take 2 harm.
Oh, good. We're doing good, guys.
Oh no.
Now that the skull is lower, as it has tried to crush this old man,
Who is crushed? He is crushed.
Other
now
old
that it has
man.
successfully
Just-
crushed
Crushed.
this old man,
I'm at 3 harm.
Oh no.
can I
Swing
Can
at this head.
jump on the back of its neck?
Absolutely, you can.
Cool. What kind of roll is that?
I'm gonna say act under pressure.
So that is plus
That's-
cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
believe
Yeah, I
it.
believe that's
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
So that is 2d6 plus for me 2.
Cattail.
Cat.
Ooh, that is
cat.
4 plus 1 plus 2. That's 7.
That's a different one. That's a different
Oh.
cat.
There's
Whole
2 of
other
them.
baby boy.
Very good.
One
What?
of them is Orpheus
cute
and one
kitty.
of them is Poppy, and they're very good.
Very
Oh,
good.
Those are great.
cute.
So good. Is Poppy the orange one?
No, Poppy is the is the one I just showed you. Orpheus is the orange one.
I mean,
Oh.
okay,
Yeah,
fine. They're not my cats.
yeah.
I don't understand. Do you have? Is there like a backstory to why you have a problem with which cat is which?
Well, poppies
Poppies
at
are
least
orange.
California poppies are orange. So I
Okay.
thought that the
Yeah,
orange cat would be the one named Poppy. That's
Okay,
all.
I got you.
And I do believe Poppy is named after a California poppy, but
Oh, interesting.
All right.
oh
Watch it
goodness.
sticker.
Oh goodness. One second.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Someone decided to fall over and cause a bunch of chaos.
Oh, as
but
they do. As
everything
cats
is
do.
fine.
A
do that.
catastrophe.
Oh my god.
Stop it.
That was
Wow.
low hanging fruit. I'm not proud of that.
Yeah, I was about to
We're
say.
not-
No,
Yeah.
no, you own that. You own that. You be proud of that.
Thank you, Des.
I'm not feline it.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
that one too.
Yeah.
DMCA.
All right, Birdie,
Okay.
what did you roll for act under
I'll
pressure?
take that as a compliment.
7.
All right. Is that the one I give you a hard choice or price to pay?
I think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Second.
Hmm.
Or worse outcome.
I'm very excited.
Drop the axe. Drop the axe. Drop the axe.
That's gonna be nuts.
Oh man, you act like Birdie still ain't got the hands though.
I do still got the hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Not as big hands, admittedly, but
Teddy also has the hands.
it's true for now.
For a moment.
you would be able to. So in your like calculations that are kind of going
Yeah.
going on in your head as you run towards this thing, you know that you will not be able to like leap over it as if you're like mounting a horse or whatever. You will be able, if you grab this thing, you will basically grab its head, and then you will just be like holding onto its head, which means that people might shoot you if they're shooting the head. So you can either grab this head and like basically hold on to it, and block the entire head, or you can just not grab onto it.
A worthwhile risk. I will do it.
Okay.
Way more fun if I do. And the head has 2 sides, so I
That's
will
fair.
grab on, and I guess I don't know if it'll lift me up, but next turn I'll try to get up onto it fully.
Yeah, and you are attached to this head as it kind of begins like trying to shake you off.
Oh
'Cause it-
no!
Oh my
Doesn't
God.
like that you're on its head, but
Quick, somebody else do something.
gosh.
So while Teddy's like still being held on to by Clark, I think he would like kind of look up at him and say, "Can you see that guy?"
No, yeah, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Quite clearly.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's being too cooperative.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of fun, yeah.
Okay, sure, but we gotta have to get this over and done with. So if you put me down, I can grab my lasso and maybe you can tell me where he is.
I like this idea. So yeah, I'm just gonna float down with Teddy, and then so
Ugh.
he's right about. All right, you see where the little spine is? What connects to the back? About right there.
And Teddy's like unfurling the lasso and like tying the knot and like begins like whipping it around. And I think Teddy would attempt to throw the lasso and try and catch the fairy, if it's still sitting on top of Sue.
all right. Act under pressure.
Oh shit. What is it?
Snake
Uh-oh.
eyes.
Oof.
Tough. Be tough for you.
All right. Things go horribly wrong, huh?
I'm very excited.
I'm
Can
gonna
I-
say you try and lasso, like you're trying to lasso something invisible,
Right.
and that's not very easy. And this whole time, this dinosaur is shaking its head and neck, trying to get Birdie off. And I'm gonna say that you lasso Birdie,
Yes.
and you are holding on, but you are kind of being dragged along as well. I assume Birdie has a pretty powerful grip, so I don't think Birdie necessarily falls off.
It's like one of
instead,
those.
you are kind of being dragged a little bit.
I'm
I
assuming
think suddenly.
it's like one
Go
of
ahead.
those. It's like one of those moments in the cartoons where like you're like the fisherman is being pulled by the big fish,
Yeah.
and he kind of puts both feet up against the railing of the boat, and he's like, ah.
Suddenly there's like a metal lasso around, I guess, my neck. And I'm just like, oh!
Yeah.
You don't need to breathe, so it's chill.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah.
fine. It's just, yeah.
It's still a very.
If you yank really hard, it will still definitely hurt
It's
me.
still a jarring experience to have like your neck just like suddenly pulled back.
Yeah.
No, it's not, I don't think it's pleasant. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
fair.
And while you are holding on, both you and Birdie will take -1 forward.
Ah, okay.
Noted.
I think that seeing Teddy try to lasso a currently invisible creature and miss, I am going to try to sell you, dear keeper, on using magic.
Okay.
So I don't think that this fits exactly into one of the effects, but I think it would probably fit on like, do one thing that is beyond human limitation. I would like to try to make this invisible creature visible.
I'm into it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you can do that. Yes. Yeah, you can do that.
In my head, I feel like it kind of fits under the same category as like communicate with something that you don't share a language with, almost. But
Yeah.
yeah, I could probably help with this dire situation, but I'm kind of like, well, can't fight an enemy you can't see. So you see Anne's eye glow.
Masha?
Uh-huh.
Masha, no.
Say it, Masha.
That's a 6. So,
Cool.
Ooh.
does anybody...
I definitely cannot help.
Neither
Yeah.
On that.
I could try to assist in some
I was
way.
gonna offer help to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
actually.
Helping out is kind of Alex's thing in combat. really.
Chuck's not magic.
Because I was gonna do something similar eventually as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to think how. Because she didn't really communicate what she was doing.
I think I would have. I think I would have said, you can't fight something you can't see, and then like starts like chanting and you see her eye glow.
Chuck just throws pocket sand.
Like in movies when someone's invisible and you just
Yeah.
like cover them in paint or something.
Yes, exactly. This is...
Honestly, pretty good
In
idea.
glitter.
Luckily, I keep a bunch of glitter in my pocket.
Actually, no, I'm gonna make this gross. Alex is gonna offer his blood.
Oh,
To do
Nice.
classic Alex. Classic Alex.
So
move
some
right
of the
there.
warlocks gonna be in Anne.
it. No. He has a medic kit, you guys. He's got blood packs.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I'm like, well,
I'm watching you,
need to
Dustin.
write
also
some
I'm
his
stuff
watching you.
down.
Was this?
That's also his lunch to be. This is helping Anne to do the thing by giving her something to use to make this thing visible.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I
Yes.
like couldn't figure out the connection there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll help out.
Here we go. We're gonna try it. That's a 7. So you get your +1, but I'm opening myself up to danger.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right. And why
And-
don't you pick your effect and glitch before we figure out what's gonna happen to Alex?
Yeah, I think my effect with the way that he's helping me is honestly probably that I'm just like propelling this blood to the neck of this creature, and like that plus magic is going to a certain effect make this Fae visible.
Uh-huh.
I had the imagery of this failing as well, and the blood splattering over Birdie as well.
Making him like slippery.
Birdie's just having a bad time.
Or am I having a great time?
It's fair.
Thank you.
I guess I don't know what Birdie's into.
That's fair.
I think
Reminds me of back in the day.
I feel like the one that I feel like would be most interesting is that it has a problematic side effect.
Oh, wonderful! I was hoping you would choose that one.
Oh boy.
Because as you kind of cast this blood forward, it
I might see where this
covers the Fae, and Chuck and Teddy and Birdie. Well, Birdie, you're probably not watching this, but
Looking kind of everywhere.
as it comes in contact with to Chuck and Teddy at least, as it comes in contact with something, it appears to disappear. But only Alex, but Alex, you can still see the blood, and Anne, you can still see the blood. So now, 2 of you can see it, but not all of you, because the magic didn't work properly.
So,
All right.
the blood hit the creature, but then the creature disappeared?
So the blood hit the creature, and then the blood disappeared, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
It's the
you
blood,
saw like Anne just like cast this blood. I'm imagining she's doing like a Avatar like water bending type thing.
Oh, I was
And
definitely
it
imagining
is,
like a Capri Sun kind of but yeah.
Well, that's just as good.
But
if not better.
that would not have required magic. That's just me putting
Jesus.
blood out of
It's like an actual like hose, you know?
Can I ask a question to the keep horror?
Yes.
So when you like all the blood disappeared, or just the blood that hit the fairy? Because I'm asking, is there like a silhouette of legs on the is the neck of the T-Rex bloody, and then there's like a human like a human shaped imprint in the blood or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I imagine this wasn't a lot of blood, and I imagine Anne probably hit with like mostly accuracy.
Okay.
So there's like you can see where there is blood and there isn't, but there's not like a defined outline. And also it's like on the neck, so
Okay.
it's not very like there's not a ton of room. You just kind of see like.
Okay. Can I try to shoot the general area?
Sure.
Cool. Do you want me to just make a kick some ass, or do you want me to do anything, because I cannot physically see this thing?
I'm gonna say kick some ass, but -1 forward.
Okay, cool.
What kind of blood was it?
Okay. So
It's a question
it's
for
Alex's
Alex.
blood, or
Or like what type? Blood type.
does Alex just have his own
Positive.
blood in bags? Oh, positive.
Oh, what a waste.
Pause.
Okay. Okay.
Why is it?
So I rolled a 7 plus my 3 is a 10 minus 1 is a 9.
All right. You shoot your gun and you see like a splurt of like, ooh, don't like the word splurt. Spurt, that's what I'm trying to say, of like greenish blood, kind of it has that same like kind of sparkly lookingness, whatever, kind of shoot out of midair, but then stop, as you know, presumably Anne and Alex and Clark, you can see the Fae like cover up this shoulder wound and press on it. to stop the bleeding. But you hurt it for 2 harm, I believe.
Yes, 2 harm. Unless he was not expecting it. Then we can talk about more harm.
But you have shot this guy, but there is still a big old dinosaur in front of you, and it like swings its neck to try and get Birdie off, but it also hits you.
Here we go again. I'm gonna die.
And it hits you for 1 harm.
Cool, I'm unstable.
And sends you flying.
Chuck, did you shoot him with an iron bullet?
I believe, did you make iron bullets for my hunting rifle?
No, I made it for your revolver.
Yeah, that's what I thought, so that's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, because my pistol is close, so. Anyway, so Chuck goes flying, hits the wall. He's like, okay, if there was a way to describe the pain I'm in, I'm unstable.
All right.
How does unstable work again? Do I just get a thing?
The longer that you are unstable, the more harm you take. So if you stay unstable, you'll continue to check off stuff to the keeper's discretion until you die.
Okay.
Or you.
So just
So
remember
you
to
are
slowly.
dying.
Yeah.
So just remember to slowly kill me, and then we'll figure out how that works in canon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe if you're stabilized, that effect no longer takes, but you're still like at the number of harm that you were when you were stabilized, and then you can get healed and pushed back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just want to make sure. I've never really gotten to unstable before.
Damn, must be nice.
Like,
I think that now, especially now that I can see this fake creature, I am going to call out to them and I'm going to say, hey, what Clark said was true. I don't think that you want what will become of you here, especially with my trigger-happy friends. If you'd like to stop doing that, we can negotiate something. Otherwise, this is just gonna suck for everybody.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll manipulate someone. I know you're not supposed to be able to do that on like the monster, but I think this thing is human enough that like you can still manipulate it.
Okay.
Yes, Masha.
We're rolling like the first half of the season.
just
Yep.
like
We flashed back.
full immersion.
I am
fully and completely.
doing my closest impression of like a dog that's eaten the trash and won't look at you in the eyes. That's a 4. That's a cool 4.
Cool.
That's one cool 4.
Let me.
That 4, ice cold.
Let me. Remember what does it just go horribly wrong when you fail that roll?
I think so. I think most rolls, like you as a keeper, just get to take a hard move.
Yeah, it's like you offend them or you make them angry or something along those lines.
And
sometimes that isn't even the case. Sometimes you still succeed, but you as the keeper get to just do whatever. Like you get to take a move against them.
right. This Faye looks at you and like it starts laughing and it they yell down to you and everyone can hear this, but they yell, are you a trickster as well?
Not I know of.
Surely you must be joking. Nothing could get better than this. I've peaked.
But you know what happens
okay.
after you've peaked, right? It's all downhill. Is this really how you want to peak?
Peaked, he said. He hasn't even caused chaos in an entire village. Peaked, he says.
And he like he just this whole time he's been kind of crazy laughing. Again, not in like a malicious way, but just in like an everything you say is funny to them kind of way. And they say, yes, but only if you leave the place you've peaked in. I'm not leaving here.
A state of eternal peaked.
But wait.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I have something that you may want to hear. Imagine a place where you could create your own world. You could create your own creatures like this in your own image, however you want to design them. You will have countless playmates coming through and helping to feed not only you, but others like you.
And
Imagine for a moment.
At first, I thought you were asking the fairy to go inside your head.
Yeah.
That may still be what's happening. I don't know.
And I guess you roll manipulate someone as well, because you're not Anne. So
Can I finish climbing up on top of Sue's head?
that's a good point.
Yeah, Teddy's gonna
yes.
let go of the lasso.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
If you could throw it back to me, that'd be great. But no rush.
You know what? I'm gonna focus on not falling off this
Yeah,
dang
No
Tyrannosaurus.
rush, no rush. I was also gonna say that I feel like this fairy is like the high school jock that never left the hometown. You know, they're like, we're just gonna stay here and live the glory days always.
Except
He peeked
instead
in the
of
museum.
being a jerk to people, it's just making dinosaurs alive again, which is also kind of a jerk thing
Yeah.
to do, but so much cooler.
So
Yeah,
much
very,
better.
very true,
Yeah.
very true.
Way more badass. All right. Do I need to roll anything for?
yeah, roll act under pressure.
Okay.
Oh.
Big money, no whammies. Up.
Oh.
That's a 5.
Lots of whammies.
That's a 2
Big
and a
s-
1 plus 2.
All the
Big
whammies.
surprise, you get thrown off and you fall, like you hit the wall and you just crumple as you take 2 harm.
Okay.
He falls right next to Chuck.
Line them up, boys.
Is it a-
Does that ignore armor or no?
No, I'm gonna say it. You keep
Okay.
your armor.
Okay, that's 3 harm that I have taken. That's fine. Okay, well I'm on the ground now. I'm gonna take the lasso off around my neck,
Total. I was-
coil it,
because
and then
they,
throw it back.
they
And-
said that you take 2 harm and you go, does it do armor? And they were like, oh yeah, it doesn't ignore armor. And you're like, okay, then I take 3 damage. And I was so confused. But you meant
Oh no.
Total.
I'm
I have
like,
3
you have
total
negative
Yeah.
harm.
armor?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Negative. I'm especially vulnerable to be thrown against walls.
If
My one weakness:
if
vertical structures.
It's a very small paragraph in the story of Gawain and the Green Knight. Is how they defeat him. Anyway, sorry.
If possible, Keeper, I will catch the lasso and continue to, or retie it and once again start to wind up and just kind of wait to see what happens with Alex's call out to the fairy.
All right, Alex, what did you roll for that?
I haven't. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be. So I rolled a 6 and a 1, and with unnatural appeal, I roll plus weird instead of plus charm when I manipulate someone. So that's plus 3. So that's gonna be 10.
All right. They do what you want for the reason you say, and so they look at you and say, I suppose that could be enjoyable. I like to cause chaos in worlds that already exist, but I suppose perhaps being in my own sandbox could be more fun.
And it would be with real people from the real world that you would be causing the chaos for. And they would be enjoying your pranks just the same as you. Would that not be
And
fun?
this Fey creature breaks into a
What are we
big
doing?
smile,
I think I know what you're talking about.
says,
I thought I did, but I
Third
feel like I
mystery.
don't. That's what I thought.
where is this place?
Why, it is with some friends of mine. In fact, a fairy queen has recently joined them, and she creates her own world, similar to. Are you familiar with video games?
And once again, this Fae laughs and says, "Absolutely."
I am
Yes.
not.
Right, I will educate you later, Bertie.
Okay, thank you.
But and this group that I am friends with have an endless amount of targets for you to prank in such a way.
And this Fae waves their hand, and Sue stops animating, as they jump down and they make themselves visible to everyone else. So you see their pale skin, which kind of almost looks like it has a greenish tint to it, and they've got mid-length hair that's dyed pink at the roots, but is blonde up top. And they're wearing sort of like a dress and a jacket all in one. And they say, I suppose you've sold me.
Well, very good. I will make a call and see what it is. But and he kind of looks around at everyone else, because the last time that he offered this, the entire group went to heck and started fighting. So he's like,
I don't know who you're
It's
talking
okay.
about in character. So
Yeah, Chuck
Same.
is dying against the wall. Maybe if he's hearing it, maybe he's a little peeved that we're letting another fairy who's actively attacking people get away.
Yeah, Teddy.
he hasn't actively attacked people except us, right?
Nope.
Mm. Well, Chuck's dying.
Teddy's still holding on to the lasso, but he's not swinging it anymore. And I mean, after spending some time with Clark, I feel like he's willing to give it a chance, more so than last time.
Well, thanks.
Parallels some real life stuff a little too. Don't like it.
Thanks,
just
Macho.
general.
Wow.
Anne would like to. What's happened? Okay, Anne would like to go and try to
But
stabilize.
I also hit my head.
Oh, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I just hit my water bottle.
Okay. Anne would like to stabilize Chuck, please.
All right.
In terms of, sorry, let me explain. Anne would like to lay on hands, Chuck.
Okay.
Okay.
If he'll
Lay
accept it.
hands on
I
that
think that
boy.
she's gonna walk over.
Sure. No, Chuck's gonna be like, "This is it. I'm dying here."
Chuck, you've got 7 more months at least in you. Come on, we gotta squeeze that bit out at least.
Sure. You don't know anything. I haven't disclosed this information to you.
Oh, right. Sorry, didn't mean to break the fourth wall.
It's all good.
Cool. And I will very gingerly touch his shoulder, and you will see Anne's eyes glow, and I am going to attempt to heal you. That is 8 plus cool, so that's 11 total.
oh hell yeah.
You go
Right on.
and heal 2 harm, plus you are stabilized.
Perfect. I feel much better. Thank you.
You are no longer dying.
I walk over to Clark. I say, so did you fight anything interesting?
Oh, I wouldn't really say interesting. You're the one who basically fought a dragon. I only got to fight a giant spider. Not very fun.
Oh, giant spider is nothing to scoff at.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but the over there, you got taken up by a little pill.
Yes, well, there was a really big one with horns, and I was looking for it, but I teleported it away, and it's fine. It's
I'm sorry.
It's
You took your glory. It's okay.
It happens. It happens.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time.
Fucking Brits.
What?
Wow.
Clark is
This
Clark is
got
gonna
weird.
like.
I'm sorry,
like
what's
this
your
push
accent?
Teddy.
Where are you
Push
from?
Teddy once
I'm from good old
to
Texas.
fly.
What
Wow,
great
this-
lineage do you descend from?
Oh no, this is bad.
You're
This is a bad
you're
conversation.
Let's not go here.
I was right.
So
Alex
let's start
successfully
arguing about
convincing
the
a fairy.
fairies.
Yeah.
I'd
Alex
rather
successfully
argue
convincing a
about the
fairy
fairies than accents.
has devolved everything. Alex really
Cool.
needs to stop recruiting fairies for for this.
I mean, Clark is all for more fairies.
I'm all for it too.
You have offered this fairy a fun place to play pranks on people, and they have accepted. And it's probably about 2 in the morning at this point. It doesn't feel like a lot of time has passed, but like what am I trying to say? It feels like it hasn't been too long, but you've been fighting dinosaurs and that
And
one
bugs.
quote about how fun times go fast. My brain's a little bit fried, so I can't figure out what the quote is, but you know,
Wise when you're having fun.
that one, yeah. And so I assume you call up Sophie,
Yes.
and she gave you her number.
But it's,
Hell.
sorry. Sophie's tied to Lift, right? Not Eclipse.
Yes.
I
Right.
thought
Oh, yeah.
I thought Eclipse was the one that was.
Yeah.
That we
so,
sent
That is
like,
fair.
Sophia Barrett is the
Yeah.
Eclipse one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Sophie Wilson
Your
is
character.
Lift.
Yes.
Yeah. Sophia is the one that I'm calling. Yes.
Gotcha.
Sophia, my bad.
And honestly, so we know that after this mission, Alex is going to be going with him. So this is probably a good time for her to say, "Hey, by the way, I need your help since I'm going to be doing this.
I'll do
nutty
this
thing
favor for you, but
accepting another fairy. Yeah, like this
Yeah.
actually works out really well.
So you call Sophia, and she says, hello? It's it's like it's in the morning.
You never sleep anyway. Don't pretend.
I'm tired. I'm tired, Alex.
All right. Well, listen. Remember a couple of months ago, I called you out, and there was a fairy queen, and they were. Fine, hang on. They were pulling pranks, and it was starting to get harmful, and we convinced them to join the
Pulling
organization
pranks is
in
an
order to help
interesting
train
way to
them.
call that.
I mean, that's what I would call it.
Murder? Wait. I'm
What is-
sorry?
What is murder if not just a really extreme prank?
I mean, I guess.
And you hear like silence on the other end, and
That's a quote
Sophia
right
says,
there.
"Yes, I remember this."
Cool. So I found a fairy who is doing pranks on people in public that is causing property damage, this time more so than lives, and they are also willing to join and help out a little bit. You know, figured it'd be good to have someone to help train troops some more. You know.
And so you hear just this long, sustained sigh from the other end of the line as Sophia says, "Alex, you can't keep dropping monsters on us.
I mean, what else?
You could, get rid of them or drop them on someone else for a change. We can't take all your fairies. But I'm glad you called because I was actually going to ask a favor of you."
well, then perhaps we can share favors. Yes?
That sounds fair. Next time call someone else with your fairy troubles. I'll send your fairy to a hotel or something for the night, and I'll get them, come collect them in the morning. Please tell them not to cause any chaos. This is like the one night a week I sleep, and so I'd really like to catch up on that.
Alright, well, you rest well, and he just kind of looks at the fairy, who is also, like, has blood on them, and, like, just, I'm sure, a wild smile, and just, I look around at all of the chaos already in here, and he goes, I'm sure that there won't be any chaos done.
That's good.
And, Anne's head starts to hurt in the future.
And Sophia says, I'll send you more details on your assignment later, but, have you ever been to Tennessee?
Tennessee? Yeah. Yeah, we fought a thing there.
Fairies.
Well, I'm glad. I think you'll like it.
Well,
I'm gonna
my
go to
mystery was
bed.
also in Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh no,
I'm
yeah,
gonna go to
that's
bed
right. That's
now.
right. Yours was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Sophia hangs up. Do not do that,
Alright,
sir.
The deal is...
I'm
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
talking to me.
talking
I'm
to the
like,
cat.
Oh, no. What did I do?
Do not stop right there.
He is knocking over water
Alright.
bottles, but
That
They have no
honorific
water?
title has to be earned. It can't just be given.
Yes. Correct.
I'm sure he's
Wow.
earned it, though. I'm sure he's a
I'm
very
sure
good boy.
he's earned
most
the
of
title
time.
of sir.
naughty man.
Very good.
Oh.
Sorry. Literally can't contain myself.
He'd be cute, dude.
He's a good boy. Anyway, well,
So what's the word,
That
Alex?
deal is struck. That deal is struck. I just, am going to be doing a favor for Eclipse as well in return.
I'm sure that won't go bad.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I imagine you call Sophie and tell her that your museum problem has been dealt with. And she thanks you for your work. And
One more big mess.
yep, she probably complains about how much they're gonna have to, pay for restoring this museum and stuff, but she appreciates that it stopped tonight instead of, never stopping. And you are you solved my mystery. You solved my dinosaur mystery.
very nice artistry.
Yay!
So if you have anything else you want to do in Chicago in the middle of February,
Yeah, at a certain, I think the way we talked about it beforehand was that essentially like right after this, either right after this or like the next day, Lyft would contact, like with Eclipse, and Clark and Alex would be whisked away, and the rest of us would be heading towards Memphis.
yes.
Birdie's still
Yeah.
with us.
I have one point of order I'd like to address.
Sure.
Did we ever learn the fairy's name?
You probably would have asked like as you were talking.
I'd like to do that really quickly. As I guess we're walking out, I turn to the fairy and say, may I have your name, please?
And the fairy squints their eyes at you and says, I can tell you my part of my name. I'm not
Damn it.
giving you my name. And they say that their name is Malada.
Malada. All right. Well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Malada. Clark, I was so close. One of these times it's gonna work.
So close, so close. Maybe next time. And
All
hey,
right. Well,
hey, Malada, maybe next time, think a little bit bigger. You're thinking just a little bit small with your pranks. Just a little bit bigger for me next time, please.
And Malada rolls their eyes and says, I brought a museum to life. That's I don't want to go bigger than that. It's less of a matter of how big I want to go and more what I am passionate about, and that is causing museum-related chaos.
And that is what's wrong with today's
Specifically, my brand is museum.
Des, can you say you're through to the next round?
Well, in the British.
Yes, please. Again.
You're through to the next round.
Oh, fun.
I was getting very
that.
Britain's Got Talent vibes from your little speech
wow.
to them
Nice.
about
Stop it.
thinking bigger.
Oh yeah. I think Anne would definitely put the Triceratops skull back in the proper room. Because it's very heavy, and I feel like they already have a lot they have to clean up. The things might as well be on the proper floor, at least.
That is fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I imagine you meet up with Sophie the next morning, and she says, I wasn't able to get much, in terms of like financial compensation because of all the
No, I don't get paid.
We told her.
money that it's gonna cost to clean things up, but I've got museum passes for you, and she gives you museum passes.
Yay!
I'm sure I'll get to use this in a year.
Your funny green
Stay at the
paper is
museum.
meaningless to me anyway. I will accept this other paper instead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
Teddy's gonna.
That's fun.
Alright.
Can Teddy ask for a gift card to the gift shop instead?
She looks at you and says, I suppose I can get you like a $20 gift certificate.
Cool.
And she hands one over to you.
Teddy's gonna take that. He's gonna go to the gift shop and he's gonna buy one of those plastic astronaut helmets.
Oh my god.
Heck yeah.
You're not gonna buy a stuffed animal to add to your collection.
Also, I don't think they sell astronaut helmets at the
Oh no!
Natural
Oh my God.
History-
Here he goes.
Yes,
Here
yeah,
he goes.
yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
And now Saul can't hear us. Oh,
Sus.
Now- okay.
Oh, he is-
Can you hear us?
The man
Saul, you
is
look sus.
suspicious.
Wow, this is so sus.
Sus.
Are you the
Guys,
imposter?
this is so sus. Among Us.
I'm
So
so
sus.
upset.
Amogus.
I love
Among
Mungus.
Amogus.
I love Gus. Ooh.
Guys, I think we've reached the point where we're all sharing a single brain cell in this.
Yeah.
let's do
yeah.
We're
this.
kind of doing whatever we want. Anne definitely wants to go to the Bean,
Yeah.
the Chicago Bean, and
What's in
she
it?
wants to take really cool pictures for her blog at the Bean.
I love you, Anne.
Listen, if Cassie was here, Chicago pizza would be just like there would
Yeah.
be nothing
Oh,
left
dude.
in the city by the time she was done. But unfortunately, she's not here. So
Does the Chicago deep dish? Is there a deep dish Ziti's? You know,
There's-
like a
It's a
specialty.
burger in a deep dish.
God.
That is awful.
That's awful. It's
That
no,
is-
you know what it is? It's a slice of deep dish pizza between two buns.
Checkers
Oh,
out having a deep dish
no.
burger.
Oh,
That is
God.
They
how-
literally it's a big Ziti's that's attached to a pizza parlor, and like if you don't go to the pizza parlor, or like you can,
Okay.
like when you go get seafood and you can like pick which lobster you want, you pick which slice of pizza you want, and then you carry it next door, and then they put it in the bun for you, and then they deep fry it, and then you eat it.
Okay,
Wow,
cool.
that's awful. That is an affront to God. I love it.
I'd eat it.
Okay, but we need a name for this now.
I
Or
think the
we
deep
can do
dish
end of
burger.
session questions.
Well,
Yeah,
are
or I
we,
can-
are we doing
Seems
Coming
pretty
up with
sus to
first.
me.
End of session question. What's the name of this deep dish burger?
Or is it-
I will award experience based on how good your answer is.
Oh, shit.
I vote for Zach's Heartburn Extravaganza.
I like we need to go deeper burger.
Oh.
I like
oh, God.
the Pete CDs.
Mmm.
The Pizzitis.
Not Pizzitis.
Well,
it's
in the
Pete
lore, originally they sold pasta, but then
Pasta's not pizza.
No, but I'm saying like it was
Italian.
it was Italian food.
Right.
Was the general thing, and then they were like,
Pasta's
okay,
not pizza.
then they were like, one day let's try a burger, and then everyone loved the burger, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna do the burger now.
Saul, can you hear anything that's happening?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Okay.
The not deep
Unless-
enough
I,
burger.
yeah.
Say again, Des?
Oh, the not deep enough burger.
All very good
God.
options.
I'm really racking my brain.
Also, because it's a deep dish and it's full of sauce, they put a bunch of ziti sauce in it. Like they just scoop out the top chunk of sauce and they replace it with big ziti sauce.
Do we even
It's
need to do end of session questions? Like, how's experience working with this before?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to level up anymore. Can I give my
Yeah.
Then we don't.
experience?
If
Can I
we
split
don't
my
want to do it,
experience to Birdie and Clark?
I just think overall it would be simpler if we just didn't, and
Sure.
we were just like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay
think
with
this is kind of out of
it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
this
fine
is
with
sort of
Is
out
the
of
burger
timeline.
called Zach's Saucy Surprise?
Oh,
God.
It is.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
God.
It should be Zossi with a Z.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
You know,
that's
like
no, that's
pizza.
too good.
No,
that's
no.
too good.
That's
Saucy,
where
yeah,
it
no,
is.
it's
Zossi.
that.
That's where it is.
Zach's
Zossi
That's
burger.
Saucy
That is it.
Surprise.
Put on
Zossie's
a t-shirt.
surprise.
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 All right, we got to put it on the
Wow.
menu. It's
Okay.
one of the specialty items. Oh my god.
Goodness.
Love all these
Anyway,
big-
guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Oh, it
This
truly
was
is.
great. This
Yeah,
was so much
this was a
fun.
lot of fun.
That was,
Thank you,
that was
Mars.
fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Thank you,
Mars.
Mars,
There's like- yeah.
for
Thank
running
you
this
so much.
phenomenal.
Really cool.
Yes.
Also,
Fun
like
little
a big
John.
shout out to Dez for his
Oh,
first time
yeah.
being a guest character. Thank you so
Whoa.
much. We're very like this was such.
We love Clark.
Yes,
He's
this
awesome.
was
Yeah.
That was really good.
so happy we could have
Clark
him.
was good.
And
Thanks,
then,
thanks.
of course, a big thank you to Eric as well for coming back as Bertie and bringing life into him again.
My boy,
Yep.
my beautiful boy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
Catch us next
Excellent.
Tuesday for Monster of the Week as we
Yeah.
continue the current mystery by Chris. That's going great. And then next Friday we'll be playing Sexy Battle Wizards as a one-page RPG.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very excited for that. Drink some water. Take care of yourselves. We love you very much. We care about you very much, and we appreciate you. All right.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.